You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Yeah, Phil Pryor and Leon Cameron from Giants Stadium in the heart of Sydney. The ground looks an absolute treat here. The deck looks incredible and the sun is shining here this afternoon for this round 21 clash between the Giants and the Bombers as we work our way through pre-game for AFL Nation. For Tyre Power, your matchday favourites for tyre safety and Macca's. Catch a quarter pounder range meal at Macca's. Today we're up in the Coates commentary box. Coates, we're more than hire. We're equipped for anything. This GWS game is brought to you by Bingley, Australian family owned for over 65 years. And our luggage partner for today is Samsonite. Unpack the world with Samsonite. Visit samsonite.com.au. As mentioned, this is the pre-game show for AFL Nation. It's a round 21 encounter between the 16th placed Giants and the 14th placed Bombers. At just a few rounds left in the regular season, but what an intriguing encounter this promises to be, given the drama particularly surrounding the team from Western Sydney the last 7 days, coming off their 73-point loss to the Swans. Phil Pryor and Leon Cameron here. And Leon, of course, we just spent the last segment unpacking what Mark McVeigh said in that post-match presser last week, and just how coaches can, use the media to their advantage at times to potentially look for a response from their playing group. And you were sort of referring to this last 3-week chunk as an opportunity for the players to react and respond to, certain messaging. But what about today? Do you, and Essendon fans, we'll get to you, I promise, but do you think that we will get a reaction from the Giants playing group today?
Yeah, look, I think we will, and I think, guys like Harry Perriman second up, he's a very, very good young player. Cogs comes back into the team, Callum Ward, Jacob Hopper's into his third game. So I think these guys, they're proud young people. Yes, there's not a lot to fight for finals, but I think you'll get a strong response. And I'm really keen on to see what their pressure at the source is like, because if your pressure's not good against Essendon, they will cut you up from one end of the ground to the other. I think we think of Essendon last year where they're just this gung-ho side from their back end. They're starting to play a really good mixed game where they know that when they can go fast off turnover, okay, and they know when they can control the ball and use the ball in a more slower and methodical way. And if the Giants really, really, want to make a statement from 7 days ago, it's their pressure and their defensive side of things that have to come to the fore. And if we, get to the first 30 minutes and you can see, well, Essendon are struggling to move the ball from one end of the ground because the Giants' defence, their positioning, their marking up is, first class, then all of a sudden that's exactly what we're after. Make it hard for Essendon to score. Get back on that contested ball plus. That's a big area that they've dropped away at.
Yeah.
See if we can halve the clearances. It's going to be a great duel, Bruce and Draper. I mean, Draper's an up-and-coming ruckman. Bruce is a classic example of every game counts. He's missed so much footy in 6 or 7 years. So he should be treating this game like it's a grand final.
Yeah.
And so that ruck duel will be really, really good. And get back to, that Giants contested stoppage game that they want. And so I am expecting a really good, strong response. The challenge is, like anything, can you do it for 4 quarters?
We mentioned pulling those levers with the media. You only get so many times where you're really requiring an emotional response as well. You need consistency, of course, week to week, but occasionally you do need to just find something a little bit deeper, don't you?
Oh, look, I mean, we're human beings. I mean, when we're challenged, whether we like it or not, there's an element of, okay, I'm going to respond, I'm going to show you. Whether it's you're at home and you're challenging your own kids and they went, I'm going to show you, Dad, what I can do, or show you, Mum, what I can do. This is no different here. The players will be proud. They want to show each other, and they'll want to be front and square Monday going, have a look at that attack on the footy. Have a look at that tackle. Have a look at that defensive play. Have a look at the little things that were missing last week that they're here this week. So I'm expecting that response. But in saying that, Essendon have been in great form. This is not a pushover game. This is a game where if you are off a little bit, Essendon will punish you. And, they've had a really good last 6 or 7 weeks. And now, bar for probably dropping a game or here or there, they could have been a little outside chance to make the 8.
Yeah, indeed. That's exactly right. This is the pre-game show from Giants Stadium with Phil Pryor and Leon Cameron. We've got the action coming right up. This is the pre-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call, Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops and Beaumont Tiles, supporting small to medium builders. We're looking forward to this one, and we're only about 15 minutes away from a bounce. Essendon coming up to Sydney to take on the Giants in fantastic form, having won 4 out of their last 5. The Giants, they've lost 4 in a row. Just so much to play for. And we've got more pre-game show before a bounce at 2:10 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to it. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Are you self-employed and looking for a home or commercial loan? Talk to RedZ, loan specialists for the self-employed. They review each loan individually to meet your needs. Visit redz.com. Conditions apply. RedZ Lending Solutions Proprietary Limited, Australian Credit Licence 311128.
Explore Karajini National Park on this new fun Go West tour. With experienced guides, you'll discover the ancient gorges and spectacular scenery. Travel on 4x4 buses into the 4 corners of the national park and leave your troubles behind at camp. If you're flying into the Pilbara, you can book airport transport services to Karajini as well. We have you covered with safe, fun and memorable experiences in the Karajini National Park with Go West Tours. Visit gowesttours.com.au. NHP are your local trusted #1 choice for everything a Sparky needs. NHP electrical products are available from recognised electrical wholesale stockists with service-ready levels of key products. With NHP's range of globally sourced best-in-class products, you can think global, trust local. When you buy NHP, you're buying 100% Australian-owned and supporting local Aussie jobs. You can find NHP electrical products at your local recognised electrical wholesaler stockist or nhp.com.au.
Sometimes needing new tyres can catch us by surprise. That's why Tyre Power gives you the power of Zip Pay and Zip Money. It means you can get what you need now, get back on the road safely and pay for it later, taking advantage of the interest-free periods. So if you need new tyres or mechanical repairs, don't wait till it gets worse. Get them now with Zip Pay or Zip Money at Tyre Power. No fuss, no wait, no worries. Terms and conditions apply. So visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner-operator.
Hi Australia, this is Sam Kerr, Australian football team captain and Chelsea FC footballer. Aussies have voted Mate as having the most satisfied NBN customers in the country in CanStar Blue's 2021 Satisfaction Awards. Mate scored 5 stars in 5 categories, beating all its competitors. If you want award-winning Aussie service together with great value internet, then Mate has your back. Search Mate online to find out more.
Okay, my battery's nearly gone. Am I picking up the kids from training or you are?
Yeah, can you get them from 5?
Couldn't hear you. Can you say that again? My battery's nearly... flat.
Without charge on your phone, nomophobia kicks in. No mobile phone phobia. You can beat it with a Signet Power Bank. With a Signet Power Bank, there's no more running out of charge when you need it most.
Yeah, okay, great. I'll be there at 5 to get the kids.
Aussie owned, Aussie designed. Power your life with a Signet Power Bank. Signet.com.
Oh, a good mark to Wilson. He plays on at full pace and kicks a beauty to Thomas. Thomas gives off to Harris. Harris closes in on 50. But wait, he's tackled by Smith. Or is it Williams? Williams scrabbles for the ball. Kicks it to a guy in blue who kicks it to some other guy in blue. Now some tall bloke has the ball. He kicks it to an even taller bloke. Kick. Handball. Kick.
Don't miss the best bits. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise. Proudly brought to you by Drink Wise.
G'day, it's Gerard Healy and Kane Corns. We're all creatures of habit, and if you've made it a habit to sleep on worn-out pillows, time to sleep on a Spinal Ease.
It aligns the head, neck and spine for comfort and support.
Since I got a Spinal Ease pillow, no more annoying headaches. I absolutely love it.
The Spinal Ease pillow will change the way you sleep and wake forever.
Order your Spinal Ease pillow now and get free delivery. Visit spinaleze.com.au. That's spinaleze.com.au. It'll change the way you sleep forever.
They say you can't beat a classic. And with 100% Aussie Angus, fresh lettuce, onion and juicy tomato, Macca's Classic Angus proves them 100% right. Available after 10:30am.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Yeah, round 21 action from Giants Stadium. Match 3 of round 21. The Giants hosting the Bombers up here. Two sides with varying degrees of form coming into this one. The Giants have lost their last 4 games as we head into this encounter. Essendon have won 4 out of their last 5. It would be 5 out of 5 if it wasn't for Jamie Elliott after the siren brilliance a couple of weekends ago, of course, against Collingwood. Phil Pryor and Leon Cameron with you for this round 21 clash on AFL Nation. And this is AFL Nation for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety and Macca's. Catch a quarter pounder range meal at Macca's today. And let's just quickly get an odds update for Sportsbet.
It's time for an odds update. Thanks to Sportsbet. Sportsbet's bet with mates. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858.
Happy Saturday, punters. Hammy Goodman here from Sportsbet ahead of the Giants versus Essendon at Giants Stadium. Now, the Bombers are in 14th spot on the ladder. The Giants are 16th. I can tell you the Giants have lost their last 9 games against teams higher than them on the ladder. The Bombers, $1.72 favourites. The Giants are $2.10. It is tough to see either side blowing this one out too much. If you're playing head-to-head, maybe look at the 1 to 39 markets. The Bombers are $2.35. The Giants are $2.60. In the first goal scorer market, Toby Green is the $8 favourite, but plenty of love for 2 metre Peter from our punters. $9 up the other end for the Bombers. There's a couple of ball magnets getting around in the red sash today. Mason Redman has had 32 or more in the Bombers' last 2 games as favourites. He's $3.90 to get 30 plus today. Zach Merritt, he's had 36 or more in his last 3 games. $2.60 to have 35 plus this afternoon. If you've got those legs in your same game multi, you can keep an eye on those disposals building up in our same game multi tracker. No more flicking around between apps. Those days are gone with our game-changing new product. Enjoy the footy. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858.
All thanks to Sportsbet. Gamble responsibly, of course, for help. 1-800-858-858. This is the pre-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's call. Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops and Beaumont Tiles. 25 grand advertising giveaway. iCanWin.com.au. Our luggage partner for today is Samsonite. Unpack the world with Samsonite. Visit samsonite.com.au. When we do take calls a little later, it will be for Star 21, 2021 Telstra Enterprise Partner of the Year. And both teams are completing their warm-up. For Ream, ask your plumber to install a Ream steady, hot and strong. Phil Pryor and Leon Cameron with you from Giants Stadium for this round 21 encounter. And Leon, let's consult the Kubota cast just quickly. Give us a quick weather report for Kubota. Together we are shaping and building Australia. It looks a gem out there today.
Yeah, it does, Phil. Look, at perfect weather. It's about 20-odd degrees here, and looks probably a little bit of wind to the left of our screen here, and but it's a great challenge for both sides. We can't sit back and say the game didn't reach great heights because of the lack of, because of the weather conditions. I mean, it's perfect for footy, and it's just who can capitalise on good ball movement early in the piece.
Yeah, Kubota shaping and building Australia. It does look incredible out there here at Giants Stadium today. Leon, just off air, you were saying as well, it is such a a lovely boutique stadium, and finally you can sit back and enjoy it as more of a spectator.
Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic little ground, and I think the capacity is about 26,000, and hopefully lots of supporters can come in here on a Saturday afternoon, the traditional time slot, and watch a good game of footy. And sometimes when you're working flat out for 10 years down on the ground, you actually don't notice what you see around here. But it is a wonderful stadium. And, I'm really looking forward to seeing this game. And I mean, we spoke about the Giants before, Phil, but on to Essendon. I mean, just looking at their midfield do their warm-up, I think the ruck battle between Draper and Bruce, and the Giants have gone in with two ruckmen in, Bruce and Briggs to take on Draper. I know Wright will help out Draper. But their on-ball brigade is what I'm really interested in. I think Langford coming back in the team the last 5 or 6 weeks gives him a great opportunity. And he just complements. He's a big-bodied midfielder. He complements Parrish. He complements Merritt, okay? Perkins was doing his warm-up there. He's a young kid doing a lot of midfield time. Their speed and their fleet-footed players around the stoppages and the congestion in the middle of the ground is the Giants' greatest challenge. If it's in tight, then the Giants would much prefer that. If it's out in the open or it moves 10, 15, 20 metres, then Essendon's fast feet is going to disturb the Giants. And that's the intriguing part about the midfield battle. And, it looks like Whitfield and Kelly are going to spend time on wings going on their warm-up. It looks like Durham and Heppel will be on the other wing. So there's battles within battles everywhere. And, I think it's going to be a cracking game.
Yeah, looking forward to unpacking some of those battles within the battles shortly, and as this game unfolds, about 4.5 minutes away from the first bounce. This is Toyota Good for Footy round. Toyota supporting local communities through Good for Footy. Leon, maybe you just mentioned it, but an unmissable moment for Drink Wise. Choose to drink wise and you won't miss a moment if you drink wise. Do you have any that are jumping out pre-game in terms of an unmissable moment heading into this one?
Oh, look, I think we talk about it every week. Toby Green is always going to have a tough opponent. And I think Jake Kelly's going to get Toby Green. I think they would have went through during the week and Ben Rutten would have said, Jake, this is a huge challenge. We need you to, take Toby Green down and make sure that he has done an influence on the scoreboard or in some of the assists that he provides for the Giants forward line. So I think that's going to play out, and I think there'll be some fire in amongst that. Two customers that really like to play the game really hard. So keeping an eye on that will be really interesting.
Yeah, it will be. And Kelly's done a good job clamping down forwards in recent weeks. I think he had Heaney 5 rounds ago down in Melbourne and kept Isaac to a couple of goals there. Now Signet are powering the commentary team for the upcoming game. Stay charged with Signet, of course. And Leon, let's get a quick ground report for climate and Dakin. Keep warm this winter. I know we've kind of alluded to it, but it does look awesome.
No, it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, there's plenty of grass. I mean, the challenge that they've had, people probably don't understand, is when the Giants lose the ground for about 6 weeks because of the show comes here, turns into the huge big paddock for the cows and the horses. But then about the round 7 or round 8, they get it back again, and normally takes about 2-3 home games again to get that absolutely perfect. But right now it looks in wonderful, Nick.
It sure does. Climate and Dakin, very warm, of course, thanks to them. And this GWS game is brought to you by Bing Lee, Australian family-owned for over 65 years. Final word from our expert today, Leon Cameron, for Buy My Stock. Got excess stock? Visit buymystock.com.au. Where's your mind at?
Oh, look, I think there's no doubt there'll be a response from the Giants. And that's got to be early. It's got to be early. We've got to set the scene. Cornelio, Ward, I mentioned that. They've got to set the scene early in the piece. Their forward pressure, which has always been lacking, they've probably lacked some specialist small forwards. There's been a lot of injuries this year, and so that's been tough. But it looks like young Lockie Ashu, who was a late in for Tim Taranto, looks like he's gone down to the forward line to probably provide a little bit of that pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts a bit of time into Hind. But the challenge is for the Giants is to maintain that for that long period of time, and the inside bulls of the Giants against the fleet-footed mids of Essendon. That's going to tell the story if it's open, and it looks like it might be an open day. that's going to be tough for the Giants. But and both sides will, maintain possession and hold on to the ball and, change angles and switch the ball. But it's just who can do it, better for longer over the 120 minutes.
Yeah, Dyson Heppel and Stephen Cornelio, they have done the coin toss in the middle of the ground. Now we are 60 seconds away from first bounce. This was the pre-game show for Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops. Answer the Camel's Call, Thirsty Camel Bottle Shops and Beaumont Tiles, supporting small to medium builders. The Giants come in with 5 changes. Briggs, Cornelio, Jake Riccardi, Tanner Bruin, they come in. Well, Bruin is the Medi-sub for GWS today. As for the Bombers, they've got Andy McGrath and Darcy Parish back in. Quite a number, a couple of outs, of course, as well. Massimo D'Ambrosio is the Medi-sub for the Bombers as both sides start to take positions. Any final observations looking at some of the matchups here, Leon?
No, I mean, Stringer will start in the centre bounce. He'll run forward. He'll go forward hard. He'll push forward hard. Langford will come on ball for there. That's a good little dust up early here, Phil, which is good. I mean, Giants have probably, looks like they're gone after Merritt here before the first bounce.
Yeah, right in the middle of the ground. Himmelberg was involved as he heads up forward as well. Interesting, of course, Himmelberg did start forward last week against the Swans, having been thrown back by Coach Mark McVeigh across the last few months. Opening bounce for Tyre Power. Tyre Power, tyre safety experts week in, week out, and we are underway for this round 21 clash on AFL Nation between the Giants and the Bombers. There was a false start, but we are underway in the middle now. Bruce involved with Draper as the two ruckmen kicking things off. Hopper with the first disposal. It was a handball out the back to Cornelio, and he got it onto Lachlan Ash, who starts on a half forward here, taking the mark about 60 from home, wheeling around. That was courageous from Perryman coming in front of Redman. It's still with the Giants. Whitfield dropped a potential mark right on forward 50. Now he gets a handball away for Cornelio, who ran into some open space and snaps on goal. Cornelio with the perfect start for the home side, back in the team this week after General Soreness out of action against the Swans last week, and it's 6 points to nothing early on here at Giants Stadium. A good start, Leon Cameron.
Yeah, it is. And look, the Fruckard still continued on. It looked like there might be a free kick to Harry Himmelberg over here behind the play here. The Giants are intent to probably challenge Merritt. Looks like they've probably put him in the gun and have gone after him. But Cogs, being the captain of the footy club, missed last week. Great start. He won the centre bounce. He pushed forward, and he's just got this great ability to hit the scoreboard. And, all of a sudden, there could be 2 goals in the space of a minute or two.
Yeah, indeed. So it will be Himmelberg right on about 50, just waiting for the ball to be returned. Finally, it is now by the umpire. So he'll have a ping for goal now, and he'll probably kick it from about 53, 54 metres. So this would be a huge start. And Leon, of course, pre-game, we were speaking about a potential emotional response after what happened. This would be a good way to settle into proceedings. It's a good kick off the boot too, straight down Main Street. 2-0 to kick things off for the Giants, just like that. We've barely had 2 minutes in the early goings here at Giants Stadium, and it's 2 majors to nothing on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robots got it in quarter 1 for Tyre Power. Tyre safety experts week in, week out, and all of a sudden the Giants they'll feel some momentum and get things going early on.
Yeah, they will, Phil. And look, Harry Himmelberg's had a wonderful last 10 to 12 weeks. He looks like he's gone back here. He just antagonised at the right time, got the free kick, and what a fantastic start from the Giants on the back of the week that they've had.
Indeed, and yeah, he's got the job on Kyle Langford up forward. So we're back underway in the middle. Draper straight out of the middle. Now he goes deep and long to the top of the goal square, through the hands of Haynes and through for a minor score. And so the Essendon, officially they are on the board. It's 12 points to 1 here. We've just got the TV going off in the background up here in the commentary box. It's all happening at Giants Stadium as the home side kick out and send it downfield to right half back. With it now for Essendon is Laverde, and he's tackled well by Josh Kelly. So there's that fierce defensive work that we spoke about pre-game as well. They need to be fierce and hungry in the middle. Giants, in terms of their response from last week's 73-point loss to the Swans. Now Parrish back in the team this week, getting a handball out of there, but possession is with the Giants upfield. Bruce had a couple of bites at the cherry. Now Durham comes away with it for Essendon, just running out of room though in front of the two benches as Zach Merritt, and the ball has left ground.
Just a couple of matchup, Phil. It looks like Perryman's got the job on Merritt. I know the Giants targeted him at the start, but it looks like Perryman's running with Merritt on ball.
So there you go, something to keep an eye on. We have seen Lockie Ash get a couple of rolls in recent weeks, Leon. I'm not sure if that's the case yet today. Maybe there's another observation to stay on top of, as the umpire's going to be going to pay holding the ball against Jacob Hopper. Free kick goes the way of Parrish, and he'll go real short to Ridley on the inside wing. Ridley goes back outside near the boundary to Merritt midfield. Now Zach is going to go inside forward 50 for the Bombers through the hands of Stringer. Had an opportunity. Bombers still with possession. Hobbs spins out of contact. Got it out the back for Redmond. We know he has a big boot, and Redmond has got the journey on it, but misses to the left-hand side through for another minor score. So it's 2 scoring shots apiece, but it's 2 goals to 2 behinds. So it's a 10-point margin. 5 minutes gone opening term here at Giants Stadium on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. And the Giants kick off well. Hogan has it at right half back for the Giants. His eyes are short, but doesn't have the option. So we'll go long down the line in the Bruce direction over his matchup and finding open grass. Toby Green was trying to track it. He was bodied well. And now Merritt with a hurried handball out the back. Ridley, there's a free kick. There was high contact on Merritt, so he'll win the free kick at left half back for the Bombers. Dangerous kick inboard, but it works out for Zerk Thatcher, who's been outstanding the last couple of months for the Bombers as they look to switch play and go the outer side of the ground through right half back. It's Heppel, and he links up out wide with Jake Kelly, one of the other defenders that has certainly stepped up the second half of this season. His fingerprints all over the Bombers' run of recent form, having won 4 of their last 5, and was it not for that Collingwood after the siren victory, of course, a couple of weekends ago, it would be 5 from their last 5 coming into this one as the Bombers work it downfield in front of Durham. He has a couple bites of the cherry. Green tackled him well. Durham under a bit of pressure, got a handball away to nobody. Coming in and was Archie Perkins, and he's tackled.
The tackle intent from the Giants is very, very good early. You can see what the Bombers are trying to do. They're trying to shift them all over the ground, and defensively they've started really, really well, the Giants.
So Green under a bit of pressure for the Giants. Got it away to Josh Kelly off his non-preferred right. That's a good kick downfield. It landed about a metre inside of the boundary at right half forward, and Hogan now took the mark, and he links up with Ash inboard, and young Lachlan takes the mark about 55-60 from home, and Ash is going to go deep to full forward. Draper was pushed off it, had 2 bites of the cherry, and now Ridley tried to get a handball onto Guelphy, and in that left forward pocket for the Giants, here comes the tackling pressure, and it will be a stoppage.
You mentioned Zerk Thatcher's had a fantastic last 4 or 5 weeks. He's got a huge challenge on Hogan here. It looks like they've gone with that matchup early.
So Draper with another possession. He was tackled in the process, though. McGrath's handball has been turned over. Green with a hurried left snap on goal across the face and through for a minor score. So it's 2 goals, 1-12 to no goals, 2 over Essendon. Nearly 8 minutes gone here on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors. So GWS with an early advantage in this one. Essendon with a slow kick out Redmond runs out of the box and goes long. Doesn't he have a massive boot? Gets it all the way to the middle of the ground. There was a good mark taken there with an intercept grab by Bruce. And now it's going back inside GWS forward 50. Nearly a good mark up there as well. And now Essendon come away with it. Heppel just inside his own defensive 50. He's tackled. There will be a ball up. The Giants do appear to be on here, Leon.
Yeah, they do. And look, Essendon have got to be careful. I reckon they're overusing their handball at the moment. I mean, the Giants' pressure's at its highest at the moment. They need to make sure they get the ball in their boot, especially coming out of defence.
Indeed, as the Giants go back inside forward 50. Just doing their best to extend the advantage. And the Bombers are going to come away with it, kicking through from right in the right back pocket. Downfield, Leaker Lee now tracking it in just his second game of AFL. Hobbs now with a good hurried handball out the back for Langford, who goes downfield to right half forward, out in front of Stringer, whose jumper has already been ripped up at the back of his neck.
It'd be great to see that matchup all day. Himmelberg v Stringer. Two fiery customers, two players on top of their game.
Indeed. We're just looking at the replay for EasyBet. Join EasyBet today. Lee Kalir just slow to get back to his feet involved in that contest. Copped a bit of contact, so something to track. He does appear to be okay, thankfully. Draper now with a handball out the back for Stringer in half a jersey. Tries to kick a major, but he puts it across the face. So 2 goals, 1-13, the Giants to Essendon, now 3 behinds. So it's 10 points in it, 10 minutes gone on the Makita clock. And it'll be a GWS kick out. It's Whitfield back there, taking his time. Now he runs out of the goal square and he's going to go straight down the middle. Toby Green after it and takes the grab just behind the centre circle. Moves it on quickly for Perryman. His time ran out immediately. Got a little kick on for Tom Green. It is play on. Finding Callan Ward, who goes quickly. Great decision. Got it on to Cornelio, who's going to run in and just misses to the right for a minor score. Good play, though, straight up the middle, Leon Cameron.
Yeah, outstanding kick out of defence from Whitfield. It was a pre-planned move to Toby Green down the middle, and then it was a great indicator that they want to play on at all costs.
Leon Cameron, our expert for buymystock.com.au, as the Bombers kick it back out. Just 2 majors across the first 10 minutes in quarter 1 here at Giants Stadium. Both of them going the way of the home side. Both of them in the first exchange of the match, really, as Himmelberg made it 6-0 to 12-0 from a free kick as they put the first goal through. So the Giants now carrying an 11-point advantage. Whitfield got it down from Bruce. That was a snazzy handball on for Green, who links up with Cornelio, who has been busy so far in this game, taking a mark wide at right half forward. He wanted 50. Cornelio looks inside, linking up with Isaac Cumming.
Hogan.
And Cumming chips to the hot spot at deep full forward in front of the goal square. Parrish, though, created time for himself. Got the ball on. It's a little bit reckless the way that they're moving it outside, out of defensive 50, but it was effective in the end. Durham takes a mark in front of left half back for the Bombers. Inside wing here at Giants Stadium. And he goes long down the line. Sam Taylor, there's his first spoil of the afternoon. Hasn't had to be involved, really. He's got the job on Peter Wright today. And the ball will leave the field of play at Essendon's left half forward.
I think the Giants should be really happy they're forcing Essendon long down the line. I mean, Essendon want to maintain possession. They haven't been able to go through the corridor yet or move the play off the line at the moment. So it's a good start defensively, and that'll be really pleasing for Mark McVeigh.
Yeah, first quarter action for Tyre Power. Tyre safety experts week in, week out. Essendon with a free kick. They go quick for Parrish, who is under immense pressure immediately by Toby Green. Now it's with Stewart for the Bombers. And he went short. Whether it was intended or not, we're not sure, but Langford takes the mark.
Always intended, Phil. Always intended.
About 60 from home. And Langford finds Archie Perkins right on 50 near the boundary at left half forward. Perkins runs in field and tried to chip it to the hot spot intended for Will Snelling, but it's been cut off back there. Good defensive work in the end by Briggs. And Briggs finds Himmelberg short as now the Giants work it outside their defensive 50 on the outer side of the ground. Callan Ward takes a mark at left half back. Thinking the switch now, back inside for Himmelberg. Himmelberg has Cumming at centre half back. Just inside his own defensive 50. Has the overlap with Himmelberg if he wants. Instead he goes outside to Kennedy at right half back. So they do work the switch. Kennedy puts a foot down, has a bounce, runs into a dead end for now. Got it onto Cornelio by hand. And there was good defensive pressure, and in the end they cut off all options, Essendon, and the kick went out of bounds on the full. So the Bombers worked the turnover well with their structure defensively there. And Nick Hind has it, brings it in and goes short to Jaden Laverde on the inside wing here at Giants Stadium. 14 and a half minutes gone. GWS by 11 points over the Bombers. First quarter, Taylor got 2 minutes to it, but it came down for Durham inside that Bombers forward 50. Good tackling pressure there from Tom Green, though. And now plenty of bodies come in over the top, including the second gamer, Alika Lear. There's going to be a holding the ball free kick paid here, going the way of the Giants and going the way of Lear. They're looking to move it quickly, and the switch is on for Callan Ward at left half back, stepped around Hobbs. So those old legs, still plenty of juice in them, Leon Cameron.
Yeah, they do. No, I mean, Callan Ward looks like he's moved out to a wing for a little bit. He's filled the wing spot at the moment, but both sides are trying to use the ball, this 15, 20-metre pass. They don't want to give up a long down the line at the moment. It's just who can move the ball through the middle of the ground and get some penetration from there.
Yeah, they work the switch once again. So Sam Taylor goes short to Kelly at right half back. 15 and a half minutes gone on the Makita clock, and now they're looking to switch again. So showing plenty of patience and trying to maintain possession here. They were well out-possessed last week against the Swans, and perhaps that's a tactic working into this game. They move it eventually inside forward 50 through left half forward, but Toby Green couldn't keep the ball inside the boundary. So it'll be thrown back inside that Giants forward 50. Giants by 11 points first quarter. Ward now with a hurried kick towards full forward, looking for the one-on-one with Hogan on Zerk Thatcher, who dropped the mark, and out of bounds we go once again, right next to the point post, inside that Giants left forward pocket.
They had a shot here earlier in the quarter here, Toby Green, so Kelly just want to make sure that he blocks his patterns here. If he gets through, he's so dangerous at forward 40 stoppages.
It was Hogan down to another Green, Tom, and then Hogan went for the miracle kick. He swiped and missed everything. Kelly with a hurried snap towards goal. Kelly, he's put it through somehow. Terrific goal. And he's on the score sheet now, the Giants. 3-2-20 over the Bombers. Just 3 points in the early goings on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robot's got it. 17 minutes gone on the Makita clock, and Leon Cameron, the home side, the Giants, it does appear as though they've responded really well so far.
Yeah, they have. And look, the physicality has been fantastic. Their tackle pressure has been really good. I think what's been the most pleasing part that Mark McVeigh would be happy about is their forward stoppage craft. You know, they've got the ball, they've had repeat stoppages, that have opportunities to score from there. They've had 2 shots on goal early, and they look really, really lively down there. And they know they probably can't put on the forward pressure as much, missing a couple of small forwards, but it's a really good start from their forward 7.
Around the grounds for Kangan Institute, 1-3 TAFE. It's the Hawks by 7 points down in Tassie as they move their way into the second quarter against Gold Coast. Essendon now moving it forward. Lee Kalir with a terrific cut-off mark at left half back on the outer side of the ground here at Giants Stadium. Did he have much to do with him?
Yeah, look, he's a terrific young kid. Phil Davis has been a wonderful mentor for him. He wants to get there quickly, and I mean that's just an early glimpse of what he can do. Fantastic mark under pressure.
He has turned it over this time with the kick, and now Parrish sends it back inside that Essendon forward 50. Haynes is back there. Good tackling pressure laid on him by Will Snelling. And now a dangerous kick up towards centre half back now, the Giants. It will be turned over once again. And the tackle is complete, so it will be a ball up at centre half forward for the Bombers. Nick Martin involved there. Hasn't he been a revelation this season for the Bombers? Durham now with a hurried kick towards full forward for the Essendon. 2 bites of the cherry, Peter Wright, and he's going to be paid the mark in front of Taylor as well, who's not happy with the decision. And finally, the Bombers have a straightforward opportunity to kick themselves a first major. 19 minutes gone, first term. Trailing by 17 points at this stage. They have had a few tougher shots on goal. Unable to convert so far, but Peter Wright with their best opportunity so far in this game, and he makes no mistake either. So Wright comes in and kicks his 48th goal for season 2022. He's been the main target up forward, and he gets the visitors going as well. 3-2-20 to the Bombers, 1-3-9 on the Robot Building Supply scoreboard.
Yeah, it's really important for the Bombers to get one early. When you're interstate and you're coming up against a side that's had a really challenging week, you don't want to get to quarter time and be, 3 or 4 goals down. And it was really important that they responded to there. There was some front half pressure. The Giants tried to exit. I love the work of the backs. They come down. Ridley came off his man, spoiled it, went back in. And then Wright, rightfully probably got a free kick 15 metres out. It's a huge challenge for Wright because he's coming up against Sam Taylor, which is clearly one of the best backmen in the game at the moment.
So 4 goals so far in this first quarter. 20 minutes gone on the Makita clock. Parrish out of the middle. Got it to Merritt. Now forward for Draper under a bit of pressure, but he wins a free kick in the tackling contest there with Callan Ward. Potentially high contact, I suppose, just in front of the centre circle. Draper goes deep inside forward 50, and Guelphy shrugged off the Himmelberg contact in that marking contest, and Guelphy marks about 5 metres back from where Peter Wright just put one through moments ago, and all of a sudden it looks like the Bombers could put together back-to-back goals here, just like the Giants did earlier on in the quarter. So Guelphy now, he's been a fantastic role player for the Bombers the last few years, playing in game 81 today. An opportunity to get the Bombers right back in this game, and Matt Guelphy does just that. 3-2-20 to now 2-3-15. It's just back to a 5-point margin, the way the home side. Back-to-back goals from Essendon.
Yeah, the centre bounce again from Draper. I think it was a down the free kick to Merritt, and that's why he got that down free kick. But clearly we've only seen Draper a couple of times when we used to play them in the last couple of years. Watching him in his athleticism and his ability to change speed and pace is a good challenge for Bruce and Briggs to deal with. I think physically they can definitely deal with him in the ruck, but it's that agility 10, 15 metres off when the ball spills out is the challenge for the Giants ruckman. Started well, Draper.
Yeah, it's been a good battle in there so far with Braden Bruce, and they've done most of the grunt work so far. Haven't really been given a chop out. We'll wait to see. There was a bit of a tug there on the jumper of Callan Ward, so he'll win a free kick just behind the centre circle, and that's a good kick. Out in front of Jake Riccardi now, who's out there back in the team this week. One of the Giants that did not play against the Swans last week. Went deep to full forward. Plenty of black and red jumpers there. That kick out of danger was smothered though. So still inside defensive 50. Zerk Thatcher under some pressure. And the kick has only gone as far as Whitfield. About 35 metres out on the boundary in that left forward pocket. Whitfield thinking whether he goes quickly or takes his time. Now he'll go back Leon Cameron, snap, or will he do the old drop punt from here from a tight angle?
I think it'll be a drop punt from here. I think he'll back his leg in from a drop punt. Zerk Thatcher just took a second or two to get rid of the footy. You've got to understand the pressure's going to come from behind, especially when you're playing deep defence.
In comes Whitfield. Kicks from about 40 out. Distance won't be a problem. He's obviously a really good kick of the footy, but he has missed it to the near side. So it's an even goal, the difference between these outfits. 3-3-21 to 2-3-15 on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robot's got it. And Essendon coming out of their own end. Kick out successfully to Zerk Thatcher, who marks just inside his own defensive 50 and goes short. Trying to work it out of danger. Now they'll switch play once again. Ridley on the outer side. Honoured the Merritt lead. In fact, it's Andy McGrath out there on Lachlan Ash, and the ball's been turned over. Ash did well, hunting down the possession right near that boundary. Hobbs is going to allow the ball to trickle over there on the outer side of the ground. It will be thrown back in. 24 minutes gone on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors. Round 21 action here at Giants Stadium. The Bombers travelling up to Sydney. GWS go back inside their forward 50. Trying to go back and track it well was Hind. He's been tackled by Hogan. No prior opportunity, and it will be thrown up.
I mean, it's been a clear focus when you've got your big, tall forwards tackling like that. It was a great bit of pressure from Hogan. It's a clear focus all week by the sounds of it.
So Durham leading the way disposals-wise in this opening term with 8 touches, and the Giants are going to win a free kick from that stoppage inside forward 50. And it's going to be young James Peatling with a shot on goal from in front, about 30 metres out. So a really good opportunity for Peatling to go back here and potentially kick just his 10th goal in league footy. Playing in just his 15th game of AFL. A great opportunity. Kicked it from about 40 out, Peatling, and he puts it across the face, through for a minor score.
It's become a weapon, Phil, like the forward stoppages. We mentioned it before. I mean, that's their 3rd or 4th shot on goal from forward stoppages.
Essendon with a no-nonsense clearance from the kick-in. Long down the line, trying to get it to Peter Wright. It's been turned over. Himmelberg with a good handball to Ash. Had time to work it inside forward 50. And it's a wonderful kick in the end to deep in that forward pocket, the right forward pocket. On the end of it, it's Riccardi. All of a sudden, he injects himself into the game from a really tight angle in that pocket. He's going to snap around off that left boot. Doesn't take too much time either, and he's missed it near side only just. Thought it looked pretty good from here, Leon.
Yeah, it's always a challenging position, especially on your non-dominant foot. Probably advice to Jake is to go closer to the man the mark, open it up from there. But, it was a really, really good kick from Lockie Ash. He started really well on a half-forward flank.
3-5-23 to 2-3-15. 27 minutes gone first term. And Essendon once again clear out. They've had plenty of kick-in practice in this first quarter so far. And the ball will be thrown in at the Bombers' left half-back. Ball exited play. Parrish now with a possession. They'll play on through the boot of Heppel. Got it onto Wright on a big lead up the ground in front of that Essendon bench. Wright goes inbounds to centre half forward, and Draper used his body really well on Ash. Went quickly to Merritt, who kicked it under all sorts of pressure in the end, but there will be a pushing free at centre half forward. So Merritt's winning himself some free kicks in this first term, just beyond his range. So he'll chip one to the pocket, had Langford, and got it to him. Langford takes a mark behind him, reaching out about 40 from home on a fair angle, it must be said. Not an easy shot on goal this, but Langford will have a ping. 27 and a half minutes gone, first term. Phil Pryor with you, along with our expert Leon Cameron for buymystock.com.au. In he comes, Kyle Langford. Just 8 goals so far in season 2022, and that is an absolute ripper of a set shot. So the Bombers work their way back to within a kick here at Giants Stadium. We've got a 2-point ball game, 28 minutes gone. 3 goals, 5-23 to Essendon's 3-3-21. On the Robot Building Suppliers scoreboard, first quarter for tyre power, tyre safety experts week in, week out.
As we mentioned before the game, Langford's been such an important inclusion. He missed the first half of the year with injury. He's come in, he's given that big-bodied midfielder that Merritt and McGrath and Parrish and Dylan Shield, they thrive on. He's been a really important player, but to go back and slot a goal like that, a really acute angle, 40 metres out, really, really good finish.
Yeah, Zach Merritt had it about 55 from home at centre-half forward, and you're wondering whether it was the correct thing to do, going so wide, but Kyle Langford has certainly shown us it was a good decision by Merritt, a kick earlier. As the ball's back in play, Stringer goes and tracks it, got a good handball out the back for Hind. Hind goes downfield, and that was courageous there from Langford once again, who just kicked the goal before. He marks at left half forward. Now he moves it to full forward. It will be chopped off this time from Sam Taylor. Get the feeling that won't be his first and only intercept possession inside defensive 50 here today, as the Giants now work it by foot. Getting back deep is Daniel Lloyd. Moves it to left half back. Lee Kalir with another first quarter possession. He goes upfield, and this time does not waste it. Got it to Jesse Hogan, working his way a long way up the ground. He had Whitfield short, inbounds. Uses him. The Giants still at left half back. GWS just up by 2 points. 3 goals apiece in this first quarter. Callan Ward with it. Still behind that centre square. Now they go forward. Lee Kalir with on the end of a really nice kick just to the right of the centre circle. Alir goes short to Haynes. Haynes goes quick now. Inside forward 50 they go. It comes down in front of plenty of bodies. Hogan with a really short handball to Lloyd, who was under pressure, and Merritt is able to clear up the middle. Hobbs reached in and took a good grab. And that's a nice relieving handball to Stringer now, who has himself a crisp new jumper. Works it to the outer side of the ground. And there is the sign. We are done for the first quarter here at Giants Stadium for this round 21 clash between 14th and 16th. 3 goals, 5-23. The Giants lead Essendon 3 goals, 3-21. Goals to Cornelio, Kelly and Himmelberg for the home side. Parrish, Wright and Guelphy for the visitors. And Whitfield leads the way with 8 disposals. Durham and Langford also have 8 touches for the visitors. AFL Nation action, Phil Pryor and Leon Cameron with you. Looking forward to the second quarter shortly.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Robot Building Supplies. Robots got it.
Are you self-employed and looking for a home or commercial loan? Talk to RedZ, loan specialists for the self-employed. They review each loan individually to meet your needs. Visit redz.com. Conditions apply. RedZ Lending Solutions Proprietary Limited, Australian Credit Licence 31128.
Explore Karajini National Park on this new fun Go West tour. With experienced guides, you'll discover the ancient gorges and spectacular scenery. Travel on 4x4 buses into the 4 corners of the national park and leave your troubles behind at Cairn. If you're flying into the Pilbara, you can book airport transport services to Karajini as well. We have you covered with safe, fun and memorable experiences in the Karajini National Park with Go West Tours. Visit gowesttours.com.au. NHP are your local trusted #1 choice for everything a Sparky needs. NHP electrical products are available from recognised electrical wholesale stockists with service-ready levels of key products. With NHP's range of globally sourced best-in-class products, you can think global, trust local. When you buy NHP, you're buying 100% Australian-owned and supporting local Aussie jobs. You can find NHP electrical products at your local recognised electrical wholesaler stockist or nhp.com.au.
Sometimes needing new tyres can catch us by surprise. That's why Tyre Power gives you the power of Zip Pay and Zip Money. It means you can get what you need now, get back on the road safely and pay for it later, taking advantage of the interest-free periods. So if you need new tyres or mechanical repairs, don't wait till it gets worse. Get them now with Zip Pay or Zip Money at Tyre Power. No fuss, no wait, no worries. Terms and conditions apply. So visit tyrepower.com.au or call 2191 for your local owner-operator.
Hi Australia, this is Sam Kerr, Australian football team captain and Chelsea FC footballer. Aussies have voted Mate as having the most satisfied NBN customers in the country in CanStar Blue's 2021 Satisfaction Awards. Mate scored 5 stars in 5 categories, beating all its competitors. If you want award-winning Aussie service together with great value internet, then Mate has your back. Search Mate online to find out more.
Okay, my battery's nearly gone. Am I picking up the kids from training or you are?
Yeah, can I get them for 5?
Couldn't hear you. Can you say that again? My battery's nearly... flat.
Without charge on your phone, nomophobia kicks in. No mobile phone phobia. You can beat it with a Signet Power Bank. With a Signet Power Bank, there's no more running out of charge when you need it most.
Yeah, okay, great. I'll be there at 5 to get the kids.
Aussie owned, Aussie designed. Power your life with a Signet Power Bank. Signet.com.
Oh, a good mark to Wilson. He plays on at full pace and kicks a beauty to Thomas. Thomas gives off to Harris. Harris closes in on 50. But wait, he's tackled by Smith. Or is it Williams? Williams scrabbles for the ball. Kicks it to a guy in blue who kicks it to some other guy in blue. Now some tall bloke has the ball. He kicks it to an even taller bloke. Kick. Handball. Kick.
Don't miss the best bits. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise. Proudly brought to you by Drink Wise.
G'day, it's Jared Healy and Kane Corns. We're all creatures of habit, and if you've made it a habit to sleep on worn-out pillows, time to sleep on a Spinal Ease.
It aligns the head, neck and spine for comfort and support.
Since I got a Spinal Ease pillow, no more annoying headaches. I absolutely love it.
The Spinal Ease pillow will change the way you sleep and wake forever.
Order your Spinal Ease pillow now and get free delivery. Visit spinaleze.com.au. That's spinaleze.com.au. It'll change the way you sleep forever.
They say you can't beat a classic. And with 100% Aussie Angus, fresh lettuce, onion and juicy tomato, Macca's Classic Angus proves them 100% right. Available after 10:30am.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
It's still with the Giants. Whitfield dropped a potential mark right on forward 50. Now he gets a handball away for Canelio, who ran into some open space and snaps on goal. Canelio with the perfect start for the home side. Peter Wright with their best opportunity so far in this game, and he makes no mistake either.
Macca's, I'm loving it moments. Grab a creme brulee pie for just $1.50.
Yeah, second quarter action from Giant Stadium coming up on AFL Nation. I'm loving it moments for Macca's. Catch a quarter pounder range meal at Macca's today. This is the bouncers coming up for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety. Phil Pryor, and our expert is Leon Cameron for buymystock.com.au at quarter time. It's the Giants by 2 points. GWS, the home side, they kicked the first 3 goals in this game before Essendon kicked the next 3. And that's how it sat at quarter time. 3 goals 5 to 3 goals 3. The second quarter is now underway here at Giants Stadium as we start to lose some of that sunlight here at the ground, but it is a fantastic day up here in Sydney. GWS are going to have the first inside 50 here. Toby Green gets it at half forward. Now he goes deep, but well worked underneath it. And in the end, McGrath took a good intercept mark. In fact, it was Peatling back there. McGrath goes short to Redmond. What an improved campaign it's been for Mason Redmond. He tried to go inboard to Snelling, just over the top of him. It's been turned over. Bruce now with a hurried kick inside GWS forward 50. It was a wobbler. And plenty of players from both sides are after it.
I don't think Bruce expected it. It was probably one of his best kicks, but it was an even start in the first quarter, wasn't it, mate?
It certainly was, as Daniel Lloyd was tackled there. Briggs now with a tap down, and now a good tackle over the top, but it was pushed in the back. So
good to see Briggs' aggression in the forward line. It's one area they want to make sure they continue on that forward pressure. Just need to work on his technique and rolling.
So it will be a Bombers free kick. Chance to clear danger. Laverde does just that. Down the line they go. Kennedy's going to make sure it stays in the Giants forward half, and good body work from Briggs, taking a mark right on 50. Not thinking about goal. He goes to the hot spot. Good mark from Hogan. But there's been a free kick involved in it, just in front of the goal square as well. Hogan not happy with the decision there. So Zerk Thatcher wins a free kick for Essendon. And he'll go long towards right half back, the Peter Wright direction. Good body work involved there from Keefe. And now Haynes has it for the Giants. They move it back inside forward 50. Out the back coming in, Briggs, but what a mark that was. Chopped off. Zerk Thatcher involved once again. Really important. 2-on-1. And the man on his own comes down with it. A good grab from Zach. Goes the outer side. The kick didn't match the mark. It's been turned over once again. Callan Ward marks about 55 from home. Wanted to find an option short. Tom Green wasn't used. Instead, they go to full forward. Once again, ball finds grass this time. McGrath's tackled under all sorts of pressure. Now he tried to get a hurried handball away. It ends up pinballing around, but into the hands of Parrish. But the kick downfield fell into the lap of Sam Taylor, but it's going to be a free kick paid against him. So Essendon with possession at left half back, and now a chance to work the ball further forward. And Perkins goes long off that right foot. Inside the centre square they go. A good handball from Parrish, and now Redmond under all sorts of pressure. Got a quick one away. Play on now. Wright tried to move it to right half forward. Out in front of Martin to no avail, and the ball bounces.
Looks like Peatling's probably in a little bit of trouble. I mean, Redmond's vision was probably just lacking there a bit, but looks like they've clashed heads, mate.
Yeah, there's a player down, and Peatling looks a little bit worse for wear. What's that signal from the doctor when they wave their arm horizontally, Leon? And any idea? Is that no go?
Oh, look, there's no doubt the doctors do a wonderful job. There'll be the first thing they'll assess is, has he been hit in the head? There'll be some vision of that, and then they'll alert the umpires if it is a head knock. If it's a knock any part of the body, then they'll try to get them off or try to reassess them there on the ground. But it looks to me that there might be a head knock there, and they're taking every precaution for the young fella. They hold the play up until he can get off the ground.
Yeah, so Peatling slowly walks to the
doesn't
boundary.
look well, does he?
He doesn't. He looks a bit groggy.
Yeah.
It's fair to say.
Just while we're waiting for that break in play, Phil, the Giants had those 4 or 5 repeat entries, but they just couldn't find a target inside the forward 50. They've started really well. Defensively, they've set up the ground really well, but just haven't capitalised on their ball use.
So the Giants now trying to work it out of their own half. Tom Green takes a mark at right half back. And now it's a really
great kick,
aggressive kick, and he makes it to Kennedy, who goes quickly to Whitfield. Whitfield tried to put it out in front of Briggs, who tried to tap it back inside for Riccardi. And there's a good tackle from Riccardi on Durham, who's going to be pinged for holding the ball. So the tackle comes about 48 metres from home, and does Riccardi have the journey here, Leon Cameron?
Yeah, he does, and look, it looks like he's going to lay it off to Hogan.
He does. He goes short. Hogan just had to stretch out in front to try and take that grab to his right. and he bobbled it out of bounds.
That'll be pleasing again for the Giants coaching staff. Riccardi, a big, tall. He's getting his hands on it, but the pressure that he applied then was fantastic.
Yeah, another tackle inside forward 50 for the Giants. Laverty now with a hurried handball. Durham with another touch. He's been busy in this game so far, and the ball's out of bounds at Essendon's right half back to be thrown back in. So no addition to the quarter time scoreline. Nearly 6 minutes gone. It's 3-5 to 3-3. The Giants by 2 points on the Athena home loan scoreboard. Langford now is being tackled, so that tackling pressure does appear to be there today, Leon, for the Giants.
Yeah, it does. And look, they started really well in the first quarter. They've maintained at the start of this second. You know, the 1%ers that, you know, again, you know, Tom Green at them. Again, Jake Riccardi at them. I mean, everyone's playing their part.
Out the back now, Bruce goes back inside forward 50. Good mark coming out in front. Hogan got to the fall of the ball in front of another couple of players. And Jesse Hogan takes a mark about 25 metres out on a fairly acute angle in the left forward pocket for the Giants. No, questionably will go back and have a set shot. Opts for the drop punt as well. And it looks great off the boot. Tees it up. And Jesse Hogan extends this Giants lead out to 8 points. 4-5-29 to Essendon's 3-3-21 on the Athena home loan scoreboard in this second quarter for Tyre Power. Tyre safety experts week in, week out here at Giant Stadium.
I think the pleasing thing about, I mean, they've laid 17 tackles to 9, so, you know, they've doubled the work rate of Essendon in tight at the source. They've had 7 forward 50 tackles to 0. So they're locking the ball inside the forward 50. The start of this second quarter, the ball's predominantly been played in the Giants' forward half, and they needed to get some reward. Fantastic shot on goal from Hogan. You know, sometimes that can be deflating when you have the ball in your half of the ground for that much of time, but you don't score. So a really good reward for all the effort in the early part of this second.
Around the grounds for Kangan Institute, 1-3 TAFE Hawthorn down in Tassie by 21 points over Gold Coast at half-time down there. Big milestone match for Ben McAvoy. The Bombers with a chance. They win the clearance as play resumes here at Giant Stadium and moving it inside forward 50. Kennedy with a relieving handball for Whitfield, who swings around onto the left foot, and that's a great mark to Bruin.
Looks like he's come on for Peatling.
So that's the Medi sub into the game. Peatling's day appears to be done. Cornelio with a good handball off the deck to Whitfield, who got it back with the 1-2. Swinging around. That's a good kick for Toby Green at centre half forward. Green has the journey if he wants it.
Hogan.
He lays it up for Hogan, who was outnumbered 2-on-1. And Zirk, Thatcher and Ridley are back there to make sure the ball goes through for a minor score. So 4-6. They're up to 30 points, the Giants, over the Bombers. 3-3-21. Nearly 9 minutes gone on the Makita clock.
Probably similar to the first quarter. The Giants started really well. Essendon a little bit slow out of the blocks. Exactly the same thing here.
A dangerous...
Just look, Essendon are going through the motions at the moment. They just haven't, you know, their work rate's not there at the moment. And they're just capitalising the Giants on that sort of lackadaisical play of Essendon coming out of defence.
Yeah, it was a dangerous kick from the kick out. It was turned over and then spinning around. Jake Riccardi finds Toby Green in the left forward pocket, closer to goal from where Jesse Hogan has put one through a minute ago. And Green's going to take his time, marks the ball inside forward 50. He will go around the body, and Toby Green does not waste opportunities like that. So GWS, they kicked the first 3 goals in the first term, and they've kicked the first 2 goals here in this second term. And they extend back out to a 15-point buffer. Just under 10 minutes gone on the Makita clock. This is second quarter action at Giant Stadium. AFL Nation for Macca's. Catch a quarter pounder range meal at Macca's today. Toby Green, that's his first goal.
Yeah, look, again, Essendon just need to get to work in their midfield. You know, I think the Giants midfield are on top at the moment. You know, they've started the game really, really well in the first quarter. Essendon sort of fought back in the back end of the first, but Parrish and Langford and Stringer and these guys need to get their hands on the ball to get the ball forward, because right now it's one-way traffic.
So the ball is bounced. Briggs up against Draper. Essendon win another clearance out of the middle. Can they take advantage this time? We'll wait and see. Durham moves it on quickly. Kicks it deep inside forward 50, but Keefe makes sure the ball goes out of bounds next to the point post. Now, just quickly, Durham, he's had plenty of the footy so far in this game. He's up to 10 disposals.
Really good duel, Durham and Whitfield out in the wings here.
Yeah, Whitfield and Parrish leading the way with 11 touches each. So Hobbs tackled inside that Essendon forward 50 well. Got the hurried handball out. Parrish tries to go after it. Ball on the deck. Hobbs now with another one for Snelling. It was pinched by Himmelberg. Ball still there to be won, and Tom Green sees it out of bounds. Still inside that Bombers forward 50.
It was better pressure from Essendon, gives them a chance. Repeat stoppage, set up behind the footy. Laverty's the spare behind the footy at the moment. They've just got to be able to do it again and repeat that.
So thrown back in, Langford out the back. Tried to get it to Hobbs, who opens up a bit of room for himself, and on the inside finds Jake Stringer, who takes the mark about 35 metres out from goal, directly in front.
Outstanding composure from a first-year player. He could have laid it off, but it would have forced them more boundary side. He cut back in through, opened the ground up, and to lower his eyes and find Stringer was a really, really good piece of play.
So Jake Stringer, who has over 300 league goals from 170 games, has a chance to steady things for the Bombers, but he puts it across to the left-hand side and through for a minor score. So it's GWS 5-6-36 ahead of the Bombers 3-4-22. It's a 14-point margin on the Athena Home Loans scoreboard. Athena Home Loans, pay down your home loan faster with Athena Home Loans. As now GWS try to kick it out of danger, but it looks like it's coming back in. Parrish to Perkins, working it through hands now right, inside for Hobbs, who has Stringer off one step. Stringer has a chance to correct course, and he misses to the other side. So 2 misses back-to-back for Jake Stringer. 5 goals 6 to now 3 goals 5. It's a 13-point margin. So GWS still holding on to a decent advantage. 2 goals to the home side are the only 2 majors so far in this second term. GWS have room inside defensive 50, but Kelly was put under a bit of pressure from a Hopper handball. Hopper goes back to help Kelly out, who now sends it long off the left. Green flew, and he's going to be paid a free kick in the process. He got up onto the back of Hobbs as the ball flew over the top of his head. Green chips one to Ashett. Left half forward, play on quickly for Lloyd. Dan goes deep inside forward 50, one-on-one over the top of Hogan, who does well in that contest. Bodywork inside that centre square, up against Kelly.
Bruin.
And through it goes. It's Tanner Bruin. So GWS, the first 3 goals in the first term and the first 3 goals in the second term. It's 6 goals to 3. And they extend their margin once again, the Giants on top. 6 goals, 6-42 to Essendon's 3-5-23. It was a good kick to a one-on-one contest. The bodies came, and Bruin with an expert finish, and he'll be happy with that.
I think the key part of the Giants' ball movement at the moment is as soon as they're taking a mark and they can sense the runner, that 1 metre give, that really quick give. Just then Ash took a really wonderful mark. Toby Green moved it on quickly, and then it was a quick give to Lloyd. Lloyd gets into Hogan, and Hogan is looking really dangerous. He's getting in behind Zach Thatcher out the back at the moment, and that's the challenge for the Essendon defenders, to not allow that to happen. But again, it's back on the Essendon midfield to put a bit more pressure on the Giants' ball movement.
So Wright goes after it in the middle, doing some ruck work for the Bombers. Now he got a hurried kick off the deck to centre half forward. Himmelberg comes after it, and Tom Green got a hurried, in fact it was Hopper, got a hurried disposal away. And now the Giants have a bit of room. It's Kelly taking a bounce and linking up with Hogan. at left half forward. Chips one over the top, and Toby Green just pulls it in with the one mitt. And he's already kicked one from a similar spot on the ground in this second quarter in that left forward pocket. Toby Green's going to have another shot. He does have more angle to work with on this occasion, and it looks like he'll opt for the drop punt from that set shot. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. So if he puts this through, it'll be 4 unanswered goals in this second term for the Giants. Well on top in this game over Essendon, coming in as the underdogs. Toby Green, he misses near side, minus score. 6 goals, 7-43 over the Bombers, 3-5-23. So it's a 20-point margin on the Athena home loan scoreboard. 16 minutes gone on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors. AFL Nation action. Essendon go long down the line. It's coming back though. It fell to Haynes off one bounce. Got it back to about 50 metres out. Good defensive work, cutting it off. Involved was James Stewart. Now Merritt has to hurriedly get his kick away, and Haynes was at the fall of the ball. Just his own side of halfway. Haynes are going to go right out the back and switch play through Himmelberg at centre half back. Himmelberg goes to Kelly, and out on the other side is Lachlan Keefe. A much more patient approach, ball in hand this week, Leon Cameron.
Yeah, at times there. Look, absolutely, and I think though, Essendon's defence is off at the moment, and they're allowing the Giants to do what they want to at the moment. And the challenge for it is they need to raise the bar with their work rate. They've been in good form in the last 5 or 6 weeks. Things aren't working as well. They need their leaders to really stand up at the moment because the Giants are right on top, and it looks like Essendon are probably just not working hard enough.
So ball on the outer wing. There was a free kick the way of the Bombers for holding the ball. Tom Green wasn't happy about it, but it's been turned over. It pinballed around inside and outside forward 50. Hogan takes a mark on the outer wing, gets it to Lloyd by foot at half forward, and now Lloyd swings around and goes deep inside forward 50. Riccardi outnumbered, and Kelly came away with it for the Bombers. McGrath now with a hurried kick out of danger. Looks like it's coming back though. Hopper works it off that right foot back inside forward 50, but it fell to the advantage of Brandon Zerk-Thatcher. And Zerk-Thatcher exits outer side, and that's a good kick to the advantage of Martin. Goes quick inside. That's a good leg as well. Got it onto Hobbs. This impressive young first-year player. They're going to switch play. Zerk-Thatcher has it once again. Out in front of McGrath. Under a bit of pressure. Ward just levels him. Callan Ward goes after it. Durham with a good tackle on Callan Ward, getting a taste of his own medicine, but Ward with heavy contact on McGrath. You'd like to see that as a coach, Leon Cameron.
Yeah, it was fantastic from Callan Ward coming forward. Again, Essendon's ball movement's just very lackadaisical. No one's working hard enough across the ground. They need their leaders to really stand up.
So Tom Green has it just behind left half forward. He swings around and puts it inside that GWS forward 50. Ball hits the deck. Kelly had a couple of cracks at it, and now it's been turned over. Mason Redmond coming away with it. Works it to the outside, and that's a good mark from Peter Wright as Sam Taylor closed in and tried to spoil it, but got a bit of the Peter Wright melon in the end, who takes the mark at right half back. Wright goes long down the line. Lee Kalir just pops up into the air and spoils it out of bounds. Mason Redmond, he's been so good this season and has brought back conversations of whether or not there should be an award for most improved in the AFL like there is in the NBA, Leon Cameron.
Yeah, he's had a terrific year. And look, I mean, the backs of Essendon are holding up okay. It's just an enormous amount of pressure being put under them. And Redmond's had a fine year, and he continues to provide a little bit of run off their half-back line. But he needs some of his mates to come along with him.
So who's running hot for Ream over 80 years manufacturing in Australia?
Oh, look, there's no doubt the Giants midfield are on top. Ward, Cornelio. Perriman's doing a really good job on Merritt. For Essendon, I think it's the young guys that are probably holding them in the game a little bit. Young Hobbs has been terrific. We talked about Durham on the wing. The challenge is for Stringer and these guys to really start to work a little bit harder to provide an outlet when they're coming out of defence to get their ball into their front half.
Parrish, Whitfield and Josh Kelly all with 13 possessions leading the way for safety steel shed stats. GWS trying to work it back inside forward 50. Cornelio's kick didn't quite have the journey, and Durham with another contested possession which was turned over. Perryman now with a hurried kick towards goal, but Laverde chops it off for the Bombers inside their defensive 50. Hind now trying to switch play to the outer side, and Nick Martin takes a good mark under a bit of pressure from Kelly, who's been everywhere today at Giant Stadium. Sun emerging once again. The stadium probably has a shadow on about nearly half of it, but the sun has been shining. Perfect conditions for footy here at Giant Stadium. Second quarter action on AFL Nation as the Bombers work it downfield on the outer wing. And now there's going to be a holding the ball free kick paid against GWS. So Essendon, who are still yet to score a second quarter goal, work it inside forward 50. Stringer's missed a couple of good opportunities. Back there was Bruce getting two hands to it. Taylor has to try and track it at ground level, losing his footing. And now Guelphy under a bit of pressure. Snelling tackled. And the umpire blows his whistle. It looks like it could be coming back for a ball up.
That looks like an Essendon ball, I think. Free kick.
Yeah, it will be an Essendon free kick. So Matt Guelphy has a chance to give his side their first goal in this second term. 22 minutes gone on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors. He snaps around from that left pocket, Guelphy, and he does it well. So 6 goals, 7:43. The Bombers, they score a goal in this second term. 4 goals, 5:29. Working their way back to a 14-point margin. They trail by 22 and a half minutes gone in this second term. And they stem the bleeding slightly as well. It was the Giants who had kicked 3 goals straight.
Yeah, it was important, an important response, and important that the Bombers forward line provided that pressure inside that forward 50. It was terrific from Guelphy. He's got 2. Snelling and Perkins and the other Bombers forwards need to provide a little bit more of that pressure so the Giants can't just waltz out of defence. But it was an important goal. I mean, the Giants looked all over the Bombers at the moment, but it was good to respond, and the next 4.5 minutes is a great challenge for them to get back into this game.
Speaking of tackling pressure, stats for safety steel sheds. Tom Green leading the way with 5 tackles and Steve Cornelio behind him with 4. They've got the most on the ground to this point. A good handball from Snelling, getting it on, and it looks like the Bombers have taken another mark inside forward 50. It came off the boot of Parrish, and he got it to Peter Wright, who takes a mark about 45 metres out directly in front, right near where Jake Stringer had a couple of shots earlier on in the quarter. So once again, they can quick back-to-back goals, and it has been a story of kicking consecutive ones in this game so far. GWS with the first 3, then it was Essendon with 3 in a row, then the Giants with 3 in a row. So Peter Wright, in he comes. It looks pretty good off the boot as well. So Guelphy just kicked his second, and now Wright has 2. And back come the Bombers. 6 goals to 5 goals, and just like that, that margin returns to single digits. 6 goals, 7:43 to 5 goals, 5:35.
It's funny how footy works sometimes. I mean, clearly under the pump, Giants up by 20. Toby Goat has the shot to make it 25 points and misses. And just the next 3 or 4 minutes, the Bombers have really dug in. They've dug in. And that centre bounce was huge from Draper. He had a rest. He had his break. He come off. He's come back on. He's got that energy. We know he can grab the ball out of the ruck. Just those little things add up, and then a quick kick out of stoppage, and Wright was in front and kicks his second. Such a magnificent kick from that range.
Yeah, Wright and Guelphy certainly running hot for Ream. Over 80 years manufacturing in Australia. It's an 8-point ball game here at Giants Stadium. This round 21 encounter, a lower ladder event with top-notch points of interest. Build all week, of course, after Mark McVeigh's comments in the presser 7 days ago after that 73-point loss to the Swans, and it has been a strong response from the Giants so far as Kelly exits defensive 50, but it's been turned over with a couple of high draft picks involved, and Andy McGrath in front of Steve Coniglio got a kick on, finding James Stewart deep inside that right forward pocket for the Bombers, and James Stewart's going to have a chance to make sure the Bombers kick 3 in a row, holding true to the trend that we've witnessed so far here at Giants Stadium. And James Stewart, he's been an important role player in recent weeks up forward for the Bombers. Looks a good kick off the boot. Looks a great kick, in fact. Just sneaks it through. So 6 goals 7 to 6 goals 5, and we're back to that 2-point margin that we had at quarter time.
Maybe both sides teed this up before the game, Phil. The Giants would have the first 15 minutes of each quarter, and then the Bombers would have the last 10.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's just a total change in the game. I mean, Essendon looked down and out. Their work rate wasn't to the level it needed to be. And all of a sudden, in that 5 or 6 minute spurt, centre bounce has been really important. Draper's been on top. Merritt's getting his hands on the ball, and they've got it forward and put the Giants under the pump. McGrath's big ball here on the exit on Stephen Coniglio was huge, and then going back in to hit up Stewart was a wonderful piece of play from him.
So we're back in the middle, 27 minutes gone on the Makita clock. Another good bounce. Draper tried to rip it out of the middle from Briggs and start running forward, but he almost went without it. Instead, it was a hurried clearance going the way of the Giants. But the ball is still in that centre square as we near half-time here in this round 21 match for AFL Nation. Around the grounds for Kangan Institute, 1-3 TAFE. Just quickly, it's Hawthorn by 21 points as GWS go back inside their forward 50. But Essendon are going to be able to rebound. In fact, McGrath put a teammate under all sorts of pressure, and Perriman picks it up and snaps it. Through she goes, and the Giants, now they respond well. 7 goals, 7-49 to Essendon's 6-5, 41. Back out to an 8-point margin.
There was a coach killer coming out of defence. Essendon looked like they're running out. McGrath's just overcooked the handball. Poor bounce to Hind, and then Perryman, who's been wonderful all day, just pounced on it. And he's got that composure in amongst traffic, and to hit the scoreboard as a mid just gives you another element of attack. So really good response. The Giants were under the pump there for a sec. You know, they deserved to be in front, but they needed a steadier, and they've got that through Perryman.
Yeah, Harry Perryman, Leon, here, I think it was 2 seasons ago where he really stepped up and took his game to another level.
Yeah, and look, he can play he plays half-back, he plays in the wing, and clearly he's on there doing a job on merit at the moment.
Yeah, Leon Cameron, our expert for buymystock.com.au on AFL Nation. Phil Pryor here in the commentary box as well. There were 6 goals in that first term, 3 apiece. The Giants kicking the first 3 of the match, and then it was 3 goals to GWS, 3 goals to Essendon, but Perryman gives us a 7th major in this second quarter, as now the Bombers try to work it forward and work their way back to within a kick. Hind goes short, finding Heppel right on 50, near the boundary at right half forward for the Bombers. And Heppel's going to wheel around onto the left and put it to a dangerous spot in the middle of the inside 50. It was fisted by Cumming. Now the ball comes back to ground level. Snelling out the back to Redmond, who winds up, although he won't have the journey. Got it off the side of the boot, but there's a mark being taken up forward. Perkins comes down with it about 10 metres out on an angle, and young Archie Perkins should go back and slot this one to put us back to within a kick on the stroke of half-time as we get to 30 minutes deep into this second term. And if you're just catching up, Tanner Bruin, the Medi sub for Giants, he was activated earlier on in this game for Peatling. In comes Perkins, and through that one goes. So the Bombers do work themselves right back into this game. They were down by 20 earlier on in this quarter. It's back to a 2-point margin. Both teams out there have kicked 7 goals. The Giants by 2 points, 49-47. And they can't be long before half-time.
It's entertaining now. I mean, it's going up and back, and both sides are capitalising on their forward entries. A wonderful mark from Perkins. You know, he had Haynes there, and he also had Himmelberg. And to take a mark in amongst those two players was just a great concentration and bravery to deliver that. And to go back and kick the goal, really good for his confidence.
So 3 goals to the Giants, 3 goals to Essendon. And now they exchange blows deep in this second quarter, just before half-time. Draper with a hit out, a hurried clearance though off the boot of Cornelio. Got it to Bruin. Now he wants a second go at it. At centre-half forward, snaps around, good vision, but the kick was just over the top of Toby Green inside forward 50. It was a sneaky option, but it was on Leon, potentially.
Yeah, it was. Look, you can clearly see every chance they take a mark, they want to play on and get it in. It just puts them under the pump. Again, a forward stoppage opportunity. Kelly's got to be clear on Green. Watch the screens, watch the blocks.
So Draper all on his own in the ruck contest. He was tackled before he could get a kick away, though, trying to clear it for the Bombers. Coming into this game, the Giants won their last 3 encounters. Of course, Leon Cameron, our expert today, was coach in all 3 of those wins by GWS, and they were all close as well. 13 points, 2 points, and 4 points. As we hit the halftime siren, it looks like this one's going to go down to the wire as well. If that first half is any indication, there were different chapters to that first half, no doubt. Both sides had their moments. It was certainly back and forth, but in the end, the halftime margin is just 2 points. 7 goals, 7-49 to 7 goals, 5-47. GWS over Essendon, the team that was favoured coming into this game. But of course, we were expecting a response from the Giants after their 73-point loss to the Swans in Derby 7 days ago. And then some strong words from interim coach Mark McVeigh off the back of it. We have seen that response. Their tackling pressure has been up, and we have a ball game on AFL Nation for this round 21 encounter between the Giants and the Bombers. We've got the halftime show coming up.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Athena Home Loans. Pay down your home loan faster with Athena Home Loans.
Are you self-employed and looking for a home or commercial loan? Talk to RedZ, loan specialists for the self-employed. They review each loan individually to meet your needs. Visit redz.com. Conditions apply. RedZ Lending Solutions Proprietary Limited, Australian Credit Licence 311128.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
NHP are your local trusted #1 choice for everything a Sparky needs. NHP electrical products are available from recognised electrical wholesale stockists with service-ready levels of key products. With NHP's range of globally sourced best-in-class products, you can think global, trust local. When you buy NHP, you're buying 100% Australian-owned and supporting local Aussie jobs. You can find NHP electrical products at your local recognised electrical wholesaler stockist or nhp.com.au.
I've been talking about the amazing Spinalese pillow for ages, and now after years of research, Spinalese have just released the amazing new Spinalese mattress, featuring an amazing button to change the firmness for any body, shape, size and weight. Plus a new mattress overlay to make your current mattress luxurious, and the Spinalese back support to add proper customisable comfort and support, all featuring the latest comfort technology and 100% Australian made. See the new Spinalese mattress at spinaleze.com.au.
If If you're planning a bit of a road trip or taking off on a weekend family adventure, place your car tyres in the safest hands in the business. Tyre Power. The store-wide super sale is on right now, which means you can buy 3, get 1 free on selected Kumho passenger and SUV tyres. Winter roads can be wet, dangerous and slippery, so be more careful on the roads with quality tyres on your vehicle. Each Tyre Power is 100% independent and locally owned. Find your Aussie local at tyrepower.com.au.
Want an internet provider with the most satisfied customers? Mate has been rated the best for overall NBN satisfaction by CanStar Blue's annual providers review. In fact, Mate are the only telco to score 5 stars in all areas. That's customer service, value for money, ease of setup, bill and cost clarity, as well as speed and reliability. So, join the most satisfied NBN customers. Choose a provider you can trust, like a Mate. Mate. Visit letsbemates.com.au.
Installery.
For the hottest of hot party you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on. Installery.
Ask your plumber for Ream, Australia's #1.
When you need a bus, call the #1 people movers, Go West. Go West are your solution for shutdowns and operations that require getting personnel into and out of remote locations. Go West have hire buses as well as charters to suit your needs, and safety is our primary focus, proven by more than 20 years of faultless service throughout WA. With bus depots in Karratha, Tom Price, Newman and Port Hedland, Go West can guarantee you continuity of service. Call Go West today. You'll find us online.
2 100% Aussie Angus beef patties, tasty cheese and chunky tomato relish. Macca's Mighty Angus doesn't just have might, it has height. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Green's going to take his time, marks the ball inside forward 50, around the body, and Toby Green does not waste opportunities like that. Green chips one to Ashett, left half forward, play on quickly for Lloyd. Dan goes deep inside forward 50, one-on-one over the top of Hogan, who does well in that contest. Bodywork inside that centre square, up against Kelly,
Bruin.
And through it goes. It's Tanner Bruin. GWS, the first 3 goals in the first term and the first 3 goals in the second term. So Peter Wright, in he comes. It looks pretty good off the boot as well. So Guelphy just kicked his second, and now Wright has 2. And back come the Bombers.
Macca's, I'm loving it moments. Grab a creme brulee pie for just $1.50.
Yeah, the Giants by 2 points at half-time here at Giants Stadium over the Bombers. Obviously a match-up with 2 lower ladder teams, but there's certainly some top-notch points of interest in this game, and we have seen the response that I'm sure a lot of us were expecting from the Giants after their somewhat embarrassing loss in Sydney Derby number 24 last week. So far they have shown plenty of intent out there against the more favoured Bombers in this round 21 clash at Giants Stadium for AFL Nation. Phil Pryor and Leon Cameron here with you for the halftime show. For Macca's, I'm loving it moments for Macca's. Catch a quarter pounder at Macca's. And it's time for the halftime show for the floor show, thanks to Choices Flooring. Hybrid flooring from Choices Flooring. Now, there's, as mentioned, there were plenty of goals in that first half, which was which made for an entertaining first couple of quarters. The score is 7 goals, 7-49 to Essendon's 7 goals, 5-47. So just a 2-point margin, as mentioned, and it has been an entertaining end-to-end affair. The Giants kicked the first 3 goals, then Essendon kicked 3 goals, then it was quarter time, and then the Giants kicked 3 goals, and then Essendon kicked 3 goals, and then the Giants and Bombers traded blows at the end of that second term as well. So it's 7 goals apiece. That's how it happens. Darcy Parish leads the way with 16 disposals Lockie Whitfield also has 16 touches. Josh Kelly, 14. Harry Perryman, 13. And Steve Cornelio, 12. Sam Durham also had 12 in that first term. He's been good for the Bombers. There's a bit of a stats wrap for safety steel sheds designed to save, built to last. Leon Cameron, any team stats that are jumping out?
Yeah, well, look, the Giants 28 to 19 inside 50s. They dominated probably 18 to 20 minutes of that quarter. They had their repeat entries. They were set up really well behind the ball. Their forward pressure has been outstanding. 10 tackles in their forward 50 to 0 down the other end of the Essendon. They lead that tackle count all over, 31-24. It's not a big number, but that's their intent that they probably spoke about for that 7 days prior to the game against the Swans. And they're 1%ers, like it's 27-7. And for those who are out there, the 1%ers are the smothers, the chasers, and just getting their hand in at the right time. It just means that they're switched on defensively to try to participate when they don't have the footy and really get in the face of the Essendon Football Club. And so to be 2 points up, they'd be disappointed they're not further up. The clearances is even. I love what Drape is doing, but Briggs, to his into fairness, Briggs and Bruce have had some really good moments as well. Clearances are even. Contested possession is just in favour of Essendon. We spoke about the tackles. Clearly, whenever the Giants get the footy, they're trying to own the footy, and they're going far and wide. They'll switch the ball. They'll look to go through the middle of the corridor until they can get that really 1 metre give that runner. And when they get it, they will go. And, Essendon have probably struggled with that a little bit, and their team defence has lapsed a little bit at times. But as you mentioned before, Phil, it is a tale of 2 parts of each quarter. It looked like the Bombers were gone, and then all of a sudden they kicked 3 straight and got back within 2 points, and they had a blow each way just before half-time. And so if I'm sitting there and they're 2 points down, there's so much more improvement in Essendon. The challenge for the Giants is to not to lose their focus or lose their rhythm just because they're only a couple of points up and they've thrown everything at Essendon in the first half. They're now got to do it for the next 30 minutes and the 30 minutes after that. But there is an enormous amount of upside for Essendon if Stringer can get into the game. You mentioned Parrish is going well. If Merritt can break away from Perryman. Now Perryman's had 13, Merritt's had 11. That's been a really good duel. Probably in front of Perryman at the moment with the goal he just scored just before half-time. But there's probably some Essendon players that just need to really raise the bar in terms of their work rate.
Yeah, we'll just fly through some awards through the halftime show here on AFL Nation as well. We probably don't have a Hanger of the Day nomination yet for hangmytv.com.au because that's what they do. Archie Perkins did take a good mark inside forward 50 for the Bombers in that second quarter, I suppose. Leon Cameron, do we have a Player of the Day so far thanks to Henley Holmes? Henley completed homes, now selling in Mickleham and Tarneet, henley.com.au.
Oh, look, I think... there's so many even performances. I think Whitfield's been really good on the wing, but he's having a good duel with Durham. I think Durham's had some really good moments as well. Perryman's got that job. I think he's probably leading the charge. He wants to take care of a very good player in Merritt, but equally get the ball himself.
An unmissable moment for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise.
I loved Langford's shot on goal here. I thought it was first class. Hogan kicked one similar, but Langford's goal here, 40 metres out in the boundary, just absolutely pierced the middle of the goals. It was just pure skill in motion. It was a fantastic shot.
We had a nice angle of it as well, no doubt. That's for Drinkwise. Choose to Drinkwise. MEGT Rookie of the Day. MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts. Call 13MEGT today.
It's amazing what one game can then lead into your second game. And Lekalia, who's playing his second game, looks really comfortable. He's playing on Jones. Jones is finding it hard to get into the game. I think Lex defensively, body position's really good. He's taken a couple of marks and his kicking's been pretty spot on. All of a sudden he's feeling confident, more confident than he probably did last week. So it's a really good step in the right direction.
MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts. Around the grounds quickly for Kangan Institute. Our heroes are made at Kangan Institute, kangan.edu.au, RTO 3077. It's the Hawks by 26 points down in Tassie in that third quarter, midway through it, over Gold Coast. So, the Hawks are getting it done for McAvoy at this stage. 10-9-69 to the Suns, 6-7-43. So, doesn't look like if that result stays firm, it doesn't look like the Bombers will be jumping over Hawthorn by the end of round 21. We look forward to the Western Bulldogs and the Freo Dockers starting a little bit later this afternoon. And a couple of games tonight as well involving Geelong and St Kilda, and also Port and Richmond. So looking forward to that. Leon Cameron, coaching move of the day for TC Boxes, home for trays, canopies and toolboxes. What have we got?
Look, I think the Perryman move on to Merritt, we've already spoke about. I think it's a really good move from Mark McVeigh. I'd like to see young Hobbs come into the midfield after half-time. I think he's been really good. It's a hard position to play. It's his first year. He's a natural ball winner. He's had 9 possessions. He looks really classy. Give him 5 or 7 minutes into the third quarter just to mix it up and give the opportunity to just add something different to the midfield that Essendon have at the moment.
We'll be taking calls all weekend for Star 2-1 2021 Telstra Enterprise Partner of the Year. That was the halftime floor show. Thanks to Choices Flooring, hybrid flooring from Choices Flooring. This is AFL Nation for Icon Services, solutions that matter. This GWS game is brought to you by Bingley, Australian family owned for over 65 years. We're up in the Coates commentary box. Coates equipped for anything. We will have the third quarter after the break on AFL Nation from Giants Stadium. This round 21 encounter, it's the Giants by 2 points over the Bombers.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Are you self-employed and looking for a home or commercial loan? Talk to RedZ, loan specialists for the self-employed. They review each loan individually to meet your needs. Visit redz.com. Conditions apply. RedZ Lending Solutions Proprietary Limited, Australian Credit Licence 311128.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
NHP are your local trusted #1 choice for everything a Sparky needs. NHP electrical products are available from recognised electrical wholesale stockists with service-ready levels of key products. With NHP's range of globally sourced best-in-class products, you can think global, trust local. When you buy NHP, you're buying 100% Australian-owned and supporting local Aussie jobs. You can find NHP electrical products at your local recognised electrical wholesaler stockist or nhp.com.au.
I've been talking about the amazing Spinal Ease pillow for ages, and now after years of research, Spinal Ease have just released the amazing new Spinal Ease mattress, featuring an amazing button to change the firmness for any body, shape, size and weight. Plus a new mattress overlay to make your current mattress luxurious, and the Spinal Ease back support to add proper customisable comfort and support, all featuring the latest comfort technology and 100% Australian made. See the new Spinal Ease mattress at spinaleze.com.au.
If you're planning a bit of a road trip or taking off on a weekend family adventure, place your car tyres in the safest hands in the business. Tyre Power. The store-wide super sale is on right now, which means you can buy 3, get 1 free on selected Kumho passenger and SUV tyres. Winter roads can be wet, dangerous and slippery, so be more careful on the roads with quality tyres on your vehicle. Each Tyre Power is 100% independent and locally owned. Find your Aussie local at tyrepower.com.au.
Want an internet provider with the most satisfied customers? Mate has been rated the best for overall NBN satisfaction by CanStar Blue's annual providers review. In fact, Mate are the only telco to score 5 stars in all areas. That's customer service, value for money, ease of setup, bill and cost clarity, as well as speed and reliability. So, join the most satisfied NBN customers. Choose a provider you can trust, like a Mate. Visit letsbemates.com.au.
Installery. Well, the hottest of hot party you've ever seen. Rain comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on. Install a ring. 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 Install a ring.
Ask your plumber for Ream, Australia's #1.
When you need a bus, call the #1 people movers. Go West. Go West are your solution for shutdowns and operations that require getting personnel into and out of remote locations. Go West have hire buses as well as charters to suit your needs, and safety is our primary focus, proven by more than 20 years of faultless service throughout WA. With bus depots in Karratha, Tom Price, Newman and Port Hedland, Go West can guarantee you continuity of service. Call Go West today. You'll find us online.
2 100% Aussie Angus beef patties, tasty cheese and chunky tomato relish. Macca's Mighty Angus doesn't just have might, it has height. Available after 10:30 a.m. for a limited time.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Yeah, round 21 action from Giants Stadium. The third quarter here between GWS and the Essendon Bombers is about to get underway. The opening bounce for Tyre Power, tyre safety experts week in, week out. It's Phil Pryor with Leon Cameron, who's our expert for buymystock.com.au today. The recent GWS coach. It's an absolute pleasure to have his insight here as we watch GWS go around, and they have responded pretty well after last week's effort in the 24th Sydney Derby, going down by 73 points in that game. Of course, they have replied well so far in this match against the Bombers. They lead by 2 points, 7 goals, 7-49 over the Bombers, 7 goals, 5-47. We're up in the Coates commentary box. Coates, we're more than higher. We're equipped for anything. And we are locked in for the third quarter here at Giants Stadium. Will that response continue? Leon Cameron mentioned in that halftime show that key indicators suggest that the Giants are on top in this game, but the scoreboard says there's only 2 points in it. Stringer wins a free out of the middle. He goes long, deep inside forward 50. It was a good kick for right, but it was well defended as well. Ball hit the deck, but out the back, Merritt put it by foot out in front of Guelphy, and Matt Guelphy will have a shot on goal. Quite a bit of angle to this one. He's at the top of his run-up now at left half back for Essendon. He'll kick from about 45 metres. Yeah.
Hard shot, but probably a little bit more central than Langford.
Guelphy already has 2 goals in this game, 1 in each of the first 2 quarters so far. We'll see if that trend continues. It looks pretty good off the boot. Has the journey. Only just, but he does. So for the first time in this ball game, the Bombers lead. 7 goals, 7-49 to 8 goals, 5-53. Essendon by 4 points. And what a start in this second half as well. And Matt Guelphy has a major in all 3 quarters so far.
3 kicks, 3 goals.
You are kidding. That's a good strike rate.
Get the ball to Matt Guelphy. That was a magnificent strike, similar to Langford's in the first. Just really good preparation, good routine. A good centre bounce win from Essendon. It was a really good tackle. And Rutten probably spoke about that tackle pressure. They need to raise the bar in that, and they've certainly come out in that first minute or two to do that.
So the Bombers with the last goal of the first half and the first goal of the second half. Draper with a clearance out of the middle, sends it to the Bombers' right half forward, and it bounces out near that boundary on the outer wing. It looks like it's exiting the Giants Stadium infield area now as well, so it will be thrown back in about 55, 60 metres around from that Bombers goal. And yeah, Draper does appear to be okay. He did take a heavy knock late in that second quarter. Leon Cameron saw it, involving Toby Green, as the ball rolls out of bounds once again. This one's going to be paid deliberate against GWS. But Draper looks okay, Leon Cameron.
Yeah, he does. Look, it was a ruck duel, and Green hit him really hard. But, it looks like he's had that 20-minute break and he's up and running.
So there was a high contact free kick in there. It looks like Langford's going to have a shot on goal now. In fact,
Young Hobbs, I think.
It's young Hobbs. So the 16 gamer, first year player for Essendon, is going to have a set shot here about 40 metres out from goal and almost in front. And Ben Hobbs can further advance Essendon's lead in this second half to kick things off, and Hobbs goes bang. So the Bombers with the first 2 goals early in this second term.
Yeah, I mean, well done to young Hobbs. Just prior to that free kick, his technique over on the boundary was first class. I mean, clearly Essendon have got a beauty here. He's a high draft pick. He knows how to get the ball. Eventually he'll move into the midfield, but playing that half-forward role, he's playing it really, really well. He's kicked the goal. He's had 11 possessions. It's hard to... Sometimes you can get jumped in that position, but it was really, really well done. He went lower. He gets the free kick, and most importantly, he went back and finished the goal. The important challenge now is the Giants in the centre bounce. Essendon have won 2 from 2, and all of a sudden they're on the scoreboard.
So it's the Bombers by 10 points. 7 goals, 7-49 are the Giants. 9 goals, 5-59 are the Bombers for the Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard. And it looks like it's the Bombers looking to work it back inside forward 50 again. It's with Parrish. Off that right foot he does, but it falls to a player in an orange jumper. So it will be coming out. It's Whitfield with the footy now inside defensive 50 for the Giants. 4.5 minutes gone in this third quarter. And now they'll work it on the outer wing here at Giant Stadium. But Whitfield's next kick goes over the top of the
downfield. I think it was
contest.
a late hit from Guelphy.
So Haynes wins a free kick for the Giants on the outer wing. Essendon, they've kicked 3 goals in a row now. 1 before half-time, 2 after it. No team in this game has kicked 4 straight yet. We'll see if the Bombers can complete that feat here. Twice in this game so far, the Giants have kicked 3 in a row. 3 times in this game now, the Bombers have kicked 3 in a row. And Essendon work it away from right half back on the outer side of the ground here at Giant Stadium. 5.5 minutes gone on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors. A boundary update for Snaffle. Bite-sized payments. The Medi-sub had to be activated for the Giants in that second quarter. In came Tanner Bruin after young James Peatling copped some high contact, and he did look a little bit dizzy as he walked over to the Giants bench before half-time. Hopper now with a handball on the outside of the ground. Won't be able to keep it in. So 6 minutes gone here and a few back-to-back stoppages on the outer side of the ground here at Giant Stadium. Lovely conditions for football here in Sydney this afternoon. The sun is still out. The stadium's cast a shadow across half of the ground now. Merritt caught it off the side of the boot as he tried to get it working forward inside 50. Good defensive pressure from Peter Wright. Play on for the Giants, and now Toby Green has it on the outer side of the ground and has space. Toby Green runs his full measure. Goes long inside forward 50 to Briggs. Good spoil coming in over the top, Ridley. Ball now at ground level. Hines with a handball to Zirk Thatcher. And now the hurried kick finds Heppel at right half back for the Bombers. They keep moving it forward quickly. Cole Langford has it back on that outer wing. The ball has spent plenty of time out there the last 5 minutes. We're now 7 minutes deep into this third quarter. The Giants have not advanced their total since half-time yet. The Bombers by 10 points here on the Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard.
They just look sharper after half-time, the Bombers. They're controlling the ball. They're being smarter with the ball. Their tackle pressure is far greater than what it was in the first half.
Essendon move it to half forward. Durham with it with a handball over the top. Perkins steps back inside, snaps around the right. Oh, just across the face. I was about to wind up because that was nice play from young Archie, but just the minor score sends it out to an 11-point advantage now for Essendon. And it'll be Himmelberg with the kick out. 7 goals, 7.49 still, the Giants. 9 goals, 6.60 for Essendon. Himmelberg finds another long blonde-haired teammate in Haynes, who goes inside now for Whitfield. Still inside defensive 50, the Giants. And now Whitfield short to Haynes, who's worked his way back inside to the middle of the defensive 50. Now there's an avenue out, and that's a good kick up the middle as well, finding Bruce. It was Tom Green that did the damage. Now that kick up the middle was danger written all over it. It's been turned over. Parrish, his handball goes to Deck. Tom Green's handball's been turned over as well. And now they try to get it out the back to Hind, who had to go back and get it under a bit of pressure. Tried to work the ball on the outside to Snelling, and it's been turned over. Ward with the intercept mark, and he had vision and eyes inside for Dan Lloyd, who marks 45 from home, pretty much in front of the sticks, and Dan Lloyd reckons he's inside his range.
Yeah, look, he should go back and kick this. Normally a very, very good set shot for goal. Probably one of the better set shots for goal for the Giants. So the distance won't be a problem. He's just got to make sure he nails the accuracy. You know, Essendon started really, really well this quarter, and their tackle pressure has been first class. Probably just an overuse of the handball in the middle of the ground, and then the Giants pounced on the turnover and an opportunity to get one back.
Not even tongue-in-cheek, potentially putting the Mozzer on Dan Lloyd here. Leon Cameron just expecting him to go back and slot it through, and that he does. Outstanding work down on the ground from Dan Lloyd, and outstanding work up here from Leon Cameron calling it through. So the Giants, they get back and close that deficit to just 5 points. The visitors, 9 goals, 6.60 over the Giants, 8 goals, 7.55, and that's their first major in this second half.
Yeah, it's a good game. Essendon have come out really, really well. The Giants have now responded. Now it's ebbing and flowing. You know, it's a good tight game. It's exactly what the fans would want. They've come along here on a Saturday afternoon to see a good game of footy. You know, and going by the first 2 and a bit quarters, we might be in for a really good nail-biter.
I think we are. I mentioned in that first half, Leon, when you were coaching this side, the last 3 times the Giants have met with Essendon, they've won all 3 of them by a combined total margin of 19 points, by 13 points, by 2 points, by 4 points. The last 3 games have been Giants wins, but they've all been close. And the home side have it on the outer wing. Cornelio runs around 1, takes a second bounce now. Martin came back. Cornelio works it to forward 50, and it looks like it's going to be turned over. Couldn't find a Giants player cleanly with that kick. Now Durham has it at left half back, kicks it out in front of Perkins, who got down low and takes a mark just backward of centre. That was a floaty kick back inside, but it made the journey to Redmond. Good vision as they switch play back on the outside of Giant Stadium for Ridley, who keeps going, and they work it quickly now for Heppel. On the AFL Nation scoreboard, out of side. The third quarter for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety. Essendon by 5 points. And they did not lead this game until after half-time, the Bombers. The Giants, obviously kicking that last goal, have given away a 50. Frustrating stuff there from Toby Green. He can do it all, Toby. And now Parrish is going to march his way inside forward 50 and have a set shot from about 35 metres out, pretty much in front.
It'll be disappointing from Toby. He was trying to preempt that it wasn't over 15 metres. He's come up hard. He's stepped over the man in the mark. I thought the Giants set their defence really well. It was forcing Essendon to slow up and use their 7 or 8 seconds every time they had the footy. But to give away a 50 and a shot on goal is disappointing.
So Darcy Parrish, he's got plenty of the footy so far in this game, but he can't convert. So just the minor score means there's now exactly 1 goal in this game. Advantage Essendon, 9 goals, 7.61 over the Giants, 8-7-55 here at Giants Stadium. That was Parrish's 22nd disposal for the record. As now the Giants work it out of their defensive 50. They find Hogan at right half back. Got the handball on to a running Josh Kelly, who's been one of the other major ball winners in this game. That was Kelly's 15th disposal. For safety, still shed some stats. It's Parrish leading the way with the 23 disposals. Whitfield has 20, Durham 16, Cornelio 15, Hopper, Merritt and Kelly all 14. There's Kelly's 15th as he goes long inside forward 50 the Giants way. It went through the pack and Heppel was out the back. Essendon come away with it. Peter Wright takes a mark next to the boundary. Inside defensive 50. Left back pocket for the Bombers. 6 points in it. Nearly 14 minutes gone on the Makita clock.
Yes.
They work it downfield. It's a good grab from Leek Alir. Leon Cameron, he read that one perfectly as well. And Alir upfield finds Riccardi about 60 from home. Riccardi goes deep to full forward. Coming in over the top and spoiling well with Zirk Thatcher. Bruin now has his hands on it right near the goal line. Toby Green tried to bicycle kick one over the top. It didn't go through. Eventually it fell to Hopper, who hurriedly snaps it through but couldn't get the angle on it. Through for a minor score. Back to a 5-point ball game.
It was really brave from Zirk Thatcher. He's had a really good game thus far. On a really good play in Hogan. Hogan's had some really good moments as well. It's a great learning curve for a young key defender, but really brave going back with a fly of the footy.
Essendon clear danger to the Peter Wright direction. Plenty of other bodies were there as well. Ball was spoilt to grass. About 60 metres out from Essendon's goal, there's going to be a ball up as we approach the 15-minute mark on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors. Hobbs tried to get a hurried kick away, didn't get a lot of boot the ball, and it looks like thought he was maybe going to pay holding the ball, but the umpire's going to throw it up right next to the boundary at Essendon's left half-back region. So Briggs wins the hit out. Down for Merritt, who got a contested possession away to nobody, just a few metres further upfield. And now Hobbs is tackled by Josh Kelly. Briggs with another tap down there to the Tom Green direction, and now the ruckman kicks it forward, inside forward 50. Ball finds grass. Bruin was first to it, but he juggled in that right forward pocket as the pressure came across from Hind, and the ball exits over the boundary, deep inside that Giants forward 50.
Essendon have got to be really, really careful here. Watch the patterns. Watch Bruin, watch Green, watch Lloyd.
So it's thrown back in. Hogan with a tap down, but he's going to give away a free kick in the ruck contest there. So Essendon to exit their D50. Once again, a boundary update for Snaffle. Bite-sized payments. The Giants with 3 rotations in a row as that throw-in came. A good chop-off mark from Sam Taylor in front of the members here at Giants Stadium. As they work it back into their forward half. Josh Kelly snuck to right half forward. He marks 55 metres from home. He'll go onto that left boot. In fact, he looks inside and backwards and uses Himmelberg back in the centre square. Himmelberg goes short to Haynes. So the Giants thinking about maybe trying to work it inside 50 from different angles. They're thinking about trying to get it to Hogan.
Yeah, look, it looks like they're trying to get it out the other side on a one-on-one, moving the ball around the arc.
So Callan Ward lost patience. He goes long inside forward 50, and there's that man, Hogan. He was the only one that jumped up and looked like he really wanted it in a contested marking situation. And Jesse Hogan could put the Giants back in front with a set shot about 30 or 25 metres out, in fact, almost in front.
It's frustrating sometimes when you're watching the game when you're sort of 60. And Josh Kelly was 60 out from goal one side of the ground, and they went all the way around the arc and lost ground. But what it does is it gets a mismatch, and it gets Hogan out or Green out, and all of a sudden come in from a different angle.
Jesse Hogan kicks his second goal. Just like that. As mentioned up here by Leon Cameron, who has a pretty good read on the home side.
Yeah, well, I think what happened was with Kelly, he's gone back to Himmelberg, to Haynes, out to Ward, and sometimes you can get held up and nothing comes of it. But on other times, you know, you can get a mismatch. And Hogan had worked extremely hard amongst all the pairs. Looked like he was a one-on-one, and they laid it up into the goal zone, and all of a sudden he gets a really good jump at it. So, you know, it was a really good piece of play, and, you know, the Giants have responded with the last couple after Essendon come out of the blocks in the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Phil Pryor with you for the call on AFL Nation, and Leon Cameron, the former Giants coach, is our expert for buymystock.com.au. 8.5 seasons in the top job of GWS, finishing only a few months ago, and this is his first visit back to Giants Stadium since that round 9 match against the Carlton Blues. 256 games of AFL footy for Leon Cameron, as well as the Giants go back inside forward 50. Ball hits the deck after the marking contest. Looks like the Bombers are going to come away with it via Martin. And there's a bit of a disagreement inside that Giants forward 50, involving plenty of players, and not all of them are on their feet. Parrish and Daniel Lloyd at the bottom of it. Redmond's going to have a free kick from inside defensive 50 for the Bombers. Now they work it upfield. Durham takes a good mark as Haynes tried to come in and cut it off at the last second on the outer wing. So yeah, Leon Cameron, plenty of experience playing and coaching. Great to have him on board for AFL Nation. Great to have him back here at Giants Stadium as well. How does it feel, Leon, to be back here?
It's interesting. It looks like it's going to go down to another, you know, as you mentioned, we've had some really tight games against Essendon when I was at the Giants. But, yeah, look, 1 point the difference. Both sides have had some really good pieces of play here. And, you know, the challenge is to maintain it for the full 4 quarters. Essendon have responded. Their tackle pressure is really good. But now the Giants, in the last 4 or 5 minutes, have raised the bar as well.
So the ball is thrown in just on the edge of Essendon's forward 50. Hurried clearance sends it back the other way. The Giants now with possession. Good handball out the back finds Whitfield, who moves it to Haynes. His kick was in front of Lachlan Ash, who has some blood on his face as well. He's involved in a tackle now on Guelphy, and Hobbs has tackled. Ball on the deck once again. Parrish with a hurried clearance, getting it moving forward, out to open space at right half forward. Durham streaming onto it, inside forward 50. He's going to have to do well to keep it in bounds, and his kick actually goes through, but was it touched on the way through by Lee Kalia? It could be an unbelievable goal to Durham here, and the umpire now comes in to have a chat to his goal umpire, and we are going to have a score review for Roofing and Sheet Metal Centre. Everything sheet metal from the roof down. Did Lee Kalia get a hand on this before the ball travelled all the way across the line, Leon Cameron?
Jeez, it looks really tight. If he's kicked the goal, it's one of the goals of the year. It was honestly, an unbelievable goal.
The way his momentum was going, it's going to be a behind. So Lee Kalia's done really well. And the scores are level. 9 goals, 8-62 apiece. Yeah, Durham was streaming onto it at right half forward, and at the angle that he was travelling to run around Braden Pruce. I don't know how he angled that kick anywhere close to back on goal, but he did well. Regardless, it's 62 points apiece, 22 minutes gone here on the Makita clock. And it'll be a Giants kick out. So having a good hard think about where they send this one. Nick Haynes was waiting for it at right half back. He goes short, finding a bit of the footy in this quarter, Nick Haynes. Perryman now goes short to Jesse Hogan at right half back. So once again, Hogan finds Riccardi on the outside. Leon Cameron, they
Yeah, the kicking game.
They did have a lot of extra team disposals in that first half. Not sure how this third quarter's tracking, but once again, they're racking them up and switching the play here.
Yeah, and looks like they're out the other side. I mean, it's precise kicking. It's about 8 or 9 15-metre plus kicks in a row, and they're just shifting Essendon's defence, and they're forcing the Bombers' backs to come up the ground. All of a sudden, you've got Draper playing at full back on Bruce. It's exactly what they want. They're just making sure that their defence can't get set.
They're on the outer side of the ground here at Giant Stadium now, and now they're considering switching back in play. That was a dangerous kick for Whitfield. Guelphy was there. Ball hits the deck, but it will be a free kick going against Guelphy. I mean, it is. You would think, in theory, Leon, that it is a good tactic for a Giants team with so many elite ball users and kickers.
Yeah. I mean, they've kicked really well today, and they've had lots more of the footy. And then all of a sudden, a whole, Cumming gets out now on an overlap, and they're inside 50 to Hogan.
It opens up. Cumming goes long to Hogan. Perryman was waiting for it at the front of the marking contest. His kick goes pretty close to the goal line, in fact. McGrath was back there for Essendon. That handball's going to put Guelphy under all sorts of pressure. Whitfield's there now. He snaps from deep in the left forward pocket back towards the goal square, and it was only Bombers players back there. The handball went to ground, and Toby Green volleys it off the deck. And he puts the Giants up by 6 points. What just happened? 10 goals, 8-68 to 9 goals, 8-62. The Giants are back out in front now.
I don't think Stewart and their backs are on the same page. He's gone to just come off his mark. He's taken a mark and he's handballed to someone who looked like he's turned his back. Toby stayed in the game and sockered one off the ground, like only Toby can.
It was a very Toby Green goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's an opportunist goal that forwards need, but in fairness, I think the Giants really worked the ball really well. They pulled the Bombers' defence probably apart and eventually got inside 50. Just as they were exiting, they just made a couple of fundamental errors, the Bombers, and the Giants pounced on it. Huge centre bounce here. I mean, Essendon got skipped out to I think about 8 or 10 points, and all of a sudden the Giants have kicked the last 2 or 3, and they're back in front.
And you can feel it as well here at Giant Stadium. The fans have certainly found their voice and a bit of energy as Bruce wins the tap down for Callan Ward, who got a hurried kick away to centre half forward, but Andy McGrath was back there for the Bombers. So 10 goals 8 to 9 goals 8 on the Victoria Police assistance line scoreboard. AFL Nation third quarter action here at Giant Stadium for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety. The Giants have it just their own side of halfway. Cornelio in the middle of the ground. Works it on the outside to another veteran teammate in Callan Ward. And now they're going back inside forward 50 off the boot of Perryman.
Riccardi.
So they tried to get it down for Riccardi. Ball goes out in front to the pack, and now it's out of bounds on the outer side. So yeah, it's been a big third quarter.
It's a bit spiteful there in the front half at the moment. Mason Wood and McGrath and Green and Bruin.
So 3 straight goals for the Giants. And well, it means both teams have scored 3 in a row 3 times in this game. Now the Giants go back deep inside forward 50 to the Riccardi direction again. Laverde under all sorts of pressure at ground level. Hogan with great defensive work is going to set up a scoring opportunity for Callan Ward, who snaps it home. And the Giants back out to a 12-point game. And for the first time here today, a team has kicked 4 straight goals.
Yeah, you're right, Phil. It's a really good response. Essendon came out in that first, 5 or 6 minutes and really, grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. And it looks like the Giants are rocked a little bit, and maybe the demons of last week were coming back. But to their credit, the last 10 minutes they've really dominated play, and they've put Essendon's back 6 under the pump. They're moving the ball in a much better fashion, whether it's through the middle and back out to the wings, and they're working it around the arc. Whenever they go forward, it looks like it's really, really planned to either Riccardi or a Hogan to give them a marking option and then put the pressure on at ground level.
Stats for safety, Steele sheds. It's Lockie Whitfield with 25 disposals. Darcy Parish 24, Sam Durham 18. the Essendon youngster in the number 22 jumper, he's been really impressive today. Callan Ward wins another hurried clearance just behind centre. And Jesse Hogan was steaming onto it at centre half forward. Goes quickly as well. That's a good kick as well. Out in front of Riccardi, who's going to go back and take a shot from about 45 out. So the Giants are riding the momentum deep into the third quarter now. 28 minutes gone. Jake Riccardi's one of the Giants forwards that's yet to hit the scoreboard. Has a great opportunity here, certainly within range. Riccardi from right on 50 puts it across face. Whether it even goes through for a minor score, I'm not so sure. In fact, out of bounds on the full next to the point post. 11 goals, 874 the Giants to 9 goals, 862. A 12-point ball game. 28 and a half minutes gone on the Makita clock. So Draper kicking the ball back into play, working it towards the outer side, but he kicked it to his direct opponent in Braden Pruce, who marks and has said to the umpire, I reckon I've got the journey here. Again, he marked about 53 metres from home. Sorry, Leon.
A little bit like last week at the SCG. He's such a thumping kick, and I don't know what the wind is doing out there, Phil, but he's probably going to kick it from 60 by the time he finishes his run-up, but he is a thumping kick, and there's every chance he could sail this through.
Yeah, he sent one from a long way back at the SCG, and Braden Pruce this time does have the journey, but it's through just for a minor score as he missed to the left. So 11 goals, 975 to Essendon's 9 goals, 862 on the Victoria Police Assistance Line scoreboard. AFL Nation action for Macca's. Catch a quarter-pounder range meal at Macca's today. We're up in the Coates commentary box. Coates, we're more than higher. We're equipped for anything. The Giants by 13 points. Deep in this third quarter. Durham now with another disposal. Got it to Hobbs. Two of these promising young Bombers, youngsters. They work it inside forward 50 Essendon in front of Stringer. And now Lee Kalia is bundled over the boundary line with the ball in possession by James Stewart. Throw in. A lower ladder event with top-notch points of interest here at Giant Stadium. 16th against 14th. Pruce now with a hurried kick. The Giants look energised and motivated today, and they've got one more quarter to hold off the favoured Essendon Bombers, who were tipped to come away with a win coming into this game. The Giants, having not won a game for 5 rounds, 4 straight losses. The Bombers, their form coming in way better, having won 4 of their last 5, and it very, very closely could have been winning all 5 of their last 5 games. But it's GWS by 13 points as we reach three-quarter time here on AFL Nation. 11 goals, 975 to Essendon's 9 goals, 862. Fourth quarter coming up on AFL Nation. We can't wait.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Victoria Police. Use the police assistance line for non-urgent situations.
Are you self-employed and looking for a home or commercial loan? Talk to RedZ, loan specialists for the self-employed. They review each loan individually to meet your needs. Visit redz.com. Conditions apply. RedZ Lending Solutions Proprietary Limited, Australian Credit Licence 311128.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
NHP are your local trusted number one choice for everything a Sparky needs. NHP electrical products are available from recognised electrical wholesale stockists with service-ready levels of key products. With NHP's range of globally sourced best-in-class products, you can think global, trust local. When you buy NHP, you're buying 100% Australian-owned and supporting local Aussie jobs. You can find NHP electrical products at your local recognised electrical wholesaler stockist or nhp.com.au.
I've been talking about the amazing Spinal Ease pillow for ages, and now after years of research, Spinal Ease have just released the amazing new Spinal Ease mattress, featuring an amazing button to change the firmness for any body, shape, size and weight. Plus a new mattress overlay to make your current mattress luxurious, and the Spinal Ease back support to add proper customisable comfort and support, all featuring the latest comfort technology and 100% Australian made. See the new Spinal Ease mattress at spinaleze.com.au.
If you're planning a bit of a road trip or taking off on a weekend family adventure, place your car tyres in the safest hands in the business. Tyre Power. The store-wide super sale is on right now, which means you can buy 3, get 1 free on selected Kumo passenger and SUV tyres. Winter roads can be wet, dangerous and slippery, so be more careful on the roads with quality tyres on your vehicle. Each Tyre Power is 100% independent and locally owned. Find your Aussie local at tyrepower.com.au.
Want an internet provider with the most satisfied customers? Mate has been rated the best for overall NBN satisfaction by CanStar Blue's annual providers review. In fact, Mate are the only telco to score 5 stars in all areas. That's customer service, value for money, ease of setup, bill and cost clarity, as well as speed and reliability. So, join the most satisfied NBN customers. Choose a provider you can trust, like a Mate. Visit letsbemates.com.au.
Installery.
For the hottest of hot butter you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on. Installery.
Ask your plumber for Ream, Australia's number one.
When you need a bus, call the number one people movers, Go West. Go West are your solution for shutdowns and operations that require getting personnel into and out of remote locations. Go West have hire buses as well as charters to suit your needs, and safety is our primary focus, proven by more than 20 years of faultless service throughout WA. With bus depots in Karratha, Tom Price, Newman and Port Hedland, Go West can guarantee you continuity of service. Call Go West today. You'll find us online.
2 100% Aussie Angus beef patties, tasty cheese and chunky tomato relish. Macca's Mighty Angus doesn't just have might, it has height. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
You're listening to the 2022 Premiership season on AFL Nation for Beaumont Tiles. Hybrid flooring in store now.
Wolfie already has 2 goals in this game, 1 in each of the first 2 quarters so far. We'll see if that trend continues. It looks pretty good off the boot. Has the journey, only just, but he does. So for the first time, the Bombers lead. Whitfield's there now. He snaps from deep in the left forward pocket back towards the goal square, and it was only Bombers players back there. The handball went to ground, and Toby Green volleys it off the deck, and he puts the Giants up by 6 points. What just happened?
Macca's, I'm loving it moments. Grab a creme brulee pie for just $1.50.
Yeah, the I'm loving it moments for Macca's. Catch a quarter pounder range meal at Macca's today. Here's the opening bounce for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety. The opening bounce of the 4th quarter. Strap in on AFL Nation. Round 21 action between the Giants and the Bombers. And it's the home side by 13 points with 1 term to go. Phil Pryor in the commentary box with Leon Cameron, our expert for buymystock.com.au, and we are underway. Giants with the first inside 50 of this final term. McGrath's trying to track it. He did not get a kind bounce, and now he's pounced upon by Jesse Hogan, who's been lively in this second half so far, and it will be a ball up in front of the point post inside that Giants forward 50 right forward pocket. It comes down now. Draper did win the tap down. Laverty has it now, but there's a holding the ball being paid against Essendon, and it's going to go the way of Toby Green, deep in that right forward pocket. A really tough angle, but a great opportunity for a star player. Green has 2 goals in this game so far, one in the second quarter, one in the third quarter as well. And he'll run around the angle onto the left foot and try and snap this through to give the Giants a great start in this final term. He's put it across the face and out of bounds on the full, missed everything.
It's disappointing. Would have been a really good, strong start. He did everything right. He went through his routine, just strike too much of the middle of the footy.
So the score stays as what it was at the end of that third quarter. 11 goals, 975 to 9 goals, 862. GWS over Essendon. 13 points was also the margin that GWS won by the last time these two sides did battle on an AFL arena, round 19 back in 2021. So essentially a year ago. That was down in Melbourne. Oh, good mark inside forward 50. 30 metres out, directly in front. And Jesse Hogan is going to look to add another goal to his daily tally. He already has 2 in this game as well. Both him and Toby Green. And now Jesse Hogan, his set shot is certainly much more run-of-the-mill than Toby's was a minute or so ago. Second minute of action, final term. Hogan comes in now with a steady approach and a steady kick off the boot as well. Jesse Hogan puts his 3rd goal through. And that margin just squeezes out now to 19 points. They were down in that third term behind Essendon. 12 goals, 981 to 9 goals, 862 is that score now on the Icon Services scoreboard. Solutions that matter. And Leon Cameron, the Giants, they're a goal or 2 away from putting this thing to bed.
Yeah, they are. And look, Hogan's had a really good workmanlike game. It's been a really good duel. I think Hogan's starting to get the points now. The challenge for young Zerk Thatcher is to hang in there and make sure you can go the distance here. He's got an unbelievable contested mark inside forward 50, which is the hardest thing to do. And his timing of his jumps to mark those footy and take it at the highest point is first class.
Yeah. Leon, don't forget we've got to do a player of the day for Henley Holmes. Build with confidence later on today. Have a think, keep an eye out for that as Hopper gets a hurried clearance to right half forward out in front of Lockie Ash, who had trouble tracking it. He does eventually, snaps it towards that forward 50 region in the Lloyd direction, and in comes the tackle of Jesse Hogan, whose tackling pressure inside forward 50 has been first class today, and he'll have another set shot now. On a bit of an angle this time, at about 40 odd metres from goal is where he'll have a set shot here, having kicked one a moment ago, but that's been impressive today, Leon.
Yeah, it has. Look, it's their 14th tackle inside forward 50, which is probably unheard of the Giants, probably in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic, especially when you're getting your keys doing it. It's a really good tackle on one of their running backs.
So Hogan now, plenty of loft underneath this one, and misses near side.
The challenge for Essendon now is to create a little bit of life. It hasn't gone their way in the first 2 minutes of this quarter, but Draper, again, Heppel, Merritt, these guys, they've got to raise the bar here. The Giants have responded to Essendon coming out at the start of the third. Now Essendon have to respond to the Giants.
It's true, they've been the ones that have steered momentum Essendon's way when it has come at moments in this game. Bruin with a tough disposal at left half forward for the Giants. Kelly now puts it back inside the forward 50, and Briggs went up for it. He was pushed underneath it, and Kieran Briggs will win a free kick. So he'll have a set shot now, about 35 metres out on a fair angle in the left forward pocket for the Giants.
It's been a good pocket for goal kicking here.
It has.
Phil, I mean, Briggsy for a ruckman, he's, I don't say that out of context, but he's a good shot for goal. And, he's going through his routine here. We've seen 3 or 4 goals kicked from this pocket. He just needs to open up the angle a little bit.
An important kick for him too, back in the team this week, and he's muffed it just through for a minor score, extending that GWS winning margin out to 21 points. 12 goals, 11, 83 to Essendon's 9-8, 62 on the Icon Services scoreboard. Solutions that matter. Fourth quarter action for Tyre Power, your match day favourites for tyre safety. The Bombers clear danger. Taylor couldn't come down with it, and now it is with Essendon. They've got an overlap too. Durham's handball to Hobbs wasn't the best. He was under pressure. Sam Taylor, the chase down tackle, that was electric work from the key defender. Winning it back for GWS, who always finds ways to impress us, Leon Cameron.
Yeah, he does. Whether it's in the air or on the ground, he's had a wonderful season. And just to never give up on the chase. It looked like Essendon was out. The Giants positioned up well. They hesitated, the Bombers, and Taylor wrapped him up.
So just a boundary update for Snaffle by now with bite-sized payments. Win huge. It doesn't appear as though Massimo D'Ambrosio has come into the game yet. He was Essendon's Medi sub. Tanner Bruin was GWS's, and he entered the game early on in that second quarter with James Peatling suffering a knock. So we'll wait and see what happens there. GWS at right half forward here. The ball's going to be thrown back in. The home side, they lead by 21 points as we reach the 7-minute mark on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors. Tackled inside forward 50. Good defence there from Toby Green on Dyson Heppel. Thrown back up now. Draper still with it. Got the ball down for Heppel, who gets a hurried clearance over the top of literally every player on the ground. At centre half forward for Essendon. Now players come back to it. Haynes has room for GWS in possession. His kick was out in front of Lloyd. It fell nicely for Kennedy. Now back in Lloyd, and that's a spearing kick to Tanner Bruin at centre half forward, who was given an opportunity earlier on in this game. That kick, not ideal though, not on the same page. Jesse Hogan maybe caught off balance there. He went without it, and Zerk Thatcher was there to clean up defensively for Essendon. Chips across for Laverde in that left back pocket.
The Giants have done really well in not allowing Hind or McGrath just to get some overlap from their half-back flank. Every time that the Bombers look like they can get some run out of back defence, their pressure's been really, really good.
Heppel now, the left half-back, tried to get a handball loopy over the top for Snelling, but Whitfield was there to grab it and then exit play. 8.5 minutes gone, final turn. The Giants by 21 points. They were up by just 13 at three-quarter time. And they've kicked the last 5 goals in this game. And they're back inside forward 50 now. Out in front of Hogan, who's going to snap one around from the deep in that left forward pocket. And he can't quite manage the angle, but it was a good attempt. 12 goals, 12-84 now to Essendon's 9-8-62. Just slowly but surely extending that margin. It's out to 22 points now. And you get the feeling, Leon Cameron, in about 5 minutes, if the scoreboard doesn't change too much between now and then, Essendon are just going to have to hit the go button.
Yeah, they are, and it's probably in the next 5 minutes when you get to just under 4 goals down, you do have to take a few risks. And, whether it's from a kick in straight down the middle or, just cheat forward a little bit as a midfielder here and there, you're trying to close that gap.
So the next goal, vitally important. Peter Wright was paid a mark, but there was definitely some hands involved off the Durham kick. It's back with the number 22 for Essendon anyway. And he goes long and forward, but Taylor had a free jump at the footy, and he takes a mark in front of Harry Jones. About 48 metres out from his own goal, and he's telling his teammates, no, let's just settle it down. They have played an impressive game of patience today, the Giants. Good mark from Bruce in the pack downfield in front of Ridley. And he'll take his time. So Draper, he's battled on in the ruck today, but he does look a little bit worse for wear, Leon Cameron, as Bruce goes downfield, his opponent. It's been chopped off by Laverde. Dangerous kick back in through the corridor. It's going to be intercepted by Whitfield, who steams onto it. One bounce and through she goes. That's going to make things really tricky now for the Bombers. 13 goals, 12, 90 over Essendon. 9 goals, 8, 62. And GWS have 6 unanswered goals since the later parts of that third quarter.
I think it's a really good piece of play here from Bruce. Strong down the line. He's had a really good second half. You know, Ed Draper seems a bit sore. You know, maybe put right in the middle of the ground, send him forward. You know, that knock seems to have knocked him around a little bit. But credit to Bruce, he's been under the pump. He probably hasn't performed to the level he needed to be in the last couple of weeks at senior level. But his second half has been first class. He's been good in the ruck, good at centre bounce, and especially round the ground at long down the line. And that gives the on-balls a lot more confidence when your big man's getting the ball, hand on the ball.
So there's Lockie Whitfield's first goal of the afternoon, his 5th for the season. Perryman has it back in the middle, handball to Tom Green. He sends a high one spiralling forward through the uncontested hands of Jesse Hogan. And now Merritt comes away with it at left half back for Essendon. They try to play on quickly for Langford. His time was taken away quick smart, but he did get a good handball out the back now. Nick Martin was steaming onto it, took a bounce inside forward 50, deep in the left forward pocket. Stringer gets around one, tried to put it on that right foot across the face of goal. It goes. Lee Kalir got a hand to it, and it's out of bounds. So it will be thrown in that right forward pocket for the Bombers.
You can see Essendon, I mean, I know they got scored against them. Whitfield intervened in the previous goal, but you can see Essendon starting to take a few more chances here, which they have to.
Down by 28 points midway through this final term, Essendon. And it was just 13 points at three-quarter time. They led the Giants in that third quarter earlier on. Since then, GWS, 6 unanswered goals. Kelly by hand, it's been turned over. Dan Lloyd now gets a hurried kick forward, bouncing towards Toby Green. He got a crook bounce, and he's outnumbered as well. Laverde back there. Handballs it on to Langford. Back out the back for Snelling. Through hands they go. There's Archie Perkins right in the middle of the ground here at Giant Stadium. To Jones and on. And it's been turned over. Tom Green now to Cornelio. Out in front of Lachlan Ash on the wing. Outer side of the ground in a one-on-one with Martin. Ball's just going to stay in as well. Martin lost his footing. Ash goes and collects it right half forward. Goes long inside forward 50. Hogan marks in the goal square. The Bombers are on the ropes. So GWS, they lead this game by 28 points. And in a matter of moments, Jesse Hogan is going to kick his 4th goal and extends that lead out into the 30s. 14 minutes gone, final term here at Giant Stadium. And Jesse Hogan bangs it through for his 4th goal. It's going to be about... That's just about it, you'd say, for the Bombers at this point in this game, Leon Cameron.
Yeah, look, and credit to Hogan. He's just worn the key defensive posts of Essendon down. His work rate up the ground to take him right up high and then work back into inside 50 has been first class. And that 4 goals is just that just reward for that work rate. You know, and he's had a really, really good back half of the year. He's strung his 9 or 10 games in the back half of the year together, and he's regularly hitting the scoreboard. You know, it's an exciting time, and if he can continue to get his body right, you know, the key post in that forward position is going to be exciting times for the Giants.
Around the grounds for Kangan Institute, 1-3 TAFE. Hawthorn got home down in Tasmania over Gold Coast by 7 points since they stormed back into that game. But Hawthorn get it done for Ben McAvoy in game 2, Fiddy down there. Western Bulldogs and Freo to get underway shortly. So the only AFL action for round 21 on right now is right here at Giant Stadium as Essendon go deep inside forward 50 and Kieran Briggs takes an excellent contested mark in the right back pocket. Kieran Briggs, another player that stepped up in this second half.
Yeah, he has. You know, that 2-1-2 ruck duel has been first class, and Briggs has really developed and worked himself into the game. And the challenge for Kieran is to make sure he can do that over and over again at senior level regularly.
So the Giants head downfield on the outer wing. It will be turned over and coming back. Cole Langford sends a wobbler back inside forward 50, but it fell to the waiting arms of Himmelberg, who goes short to Lachlan Ash, who's starting to find a bit of a presence in this game. Goes short to Tanner Bruin. Now, with GWS for a number of years, Leon Cameron, there has been a search for, you know, the ruck solution.
Yeah.
Kieran Briggs, a promising young ruck talent. Where's he at?
He is. No, he just needs to work on his fitness levels and make sure that he's regularly, you know, doing that over and over again, because clearly he's got great attributes to be in the ruck. He's got great agility for a big man. He's a beautiful kick. He can jump. His centre bounce work is fantastic. He's just got to be able to do it over and over again. To do that, you need to train regularly and get fitter and make sure you keep putting your name up there.
He certainly put his name up there in this second half. The Giants, 14 goals, 12.96 over the Bombers, 9 goals, 8.62. Essendon, they have not kicked a major since the midway point of that third quarter. And the Giants, they have 7 straight since then. Hogan with 4 goals to his name, leading the way there. Speaking of that ruck contest, Sam Draper leads with 20 hit-outs, but Braden Pruce and Kieran Briggs collectively have 32 hit-outs. So Pruce with 19, Briggs with 13. That 1-2 punch has worked wonders today for the Giants, who now work at the half-forward with Toby Green. Nobody inside forward 50. Riccardi's now working his way in there. And now Green's waiting for options. He's going to go short out the back by foot to Daniel Lloyd. Some stats just before there for safety steel sheds, of course. So Giants with possession and happy to slow things down and just grind away at this block. It's been an impressive final term from the home side, a side that looked determined to right the wrongs of 7 days ago in the same time slot, back in round 20, also in Sydney at the SCG. And they return to Giants Stadium after a couple of away visits and a trip to Manuka. And they're enjoying their footy here today. Essendon go deep inside forward 50, but getting back there was Keefe with a good mark going back with the flight. And he goes short to Lachlan Ash. So the Giants, they've been able to absorb everything inside defensive 50 this final term, Leon Cameron.
It was good that Hind really took the game on from half-back. It's probably the first time we've seen him run through the middle of the ground all day. But just the finishing, the last piece going inside 50 wasn't great. And, the Giants' key defenders have been well on top of Essendon's key forwards. Other than Peter Wright, who's given them a target throughout the day, there hasn't been many other winners down there.
The Giants with it on the outer wing. A nice little kick inside from Riccardi to Whitfield. Right on the front corner of that centre square. Right half forward goes to the Bruin direction inside forward 50. Bruin had a chance. He looked up, wondering where the sticks were, and went without it. Now the ball exits play inside that Giants forward 50 in the right forward pocket. Bruin slow to get back to his feet as well. Tanner Bruin, there's been a bit of talk about his future, Leon Cameron. What have you heard?
No, look, I mean, he's into his second year and he's a fine young player. He's just finding his feet. He's played the 20-25 games now, so he's developing well. It's hard for him to get in the midfield at the moment, and no doubt he would probably like some more midfield time, but, he's one player that the Giants would be really, really keen to lock away.
They're playing in his 29th game today. Geelong Grammar product. Of course, there was a bit of controversy involving him on draft night. It would have been a tough process for him to then step into the Giants after some of the stories that were being written about him when he was drafted.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's the media probably playing things up. I mean, things are going to happen, but no, look, he's well loved amongst the footy club. He's a good young kid. He's doing a good apprenticeship. You know, he's going to play a lot of footy.
Draper with a good hit out for Durham, who links up with Merritt by hand. Now a handball to Hobbs, who was under all sorts of pressure. Andy McGrath trying to soccer it forward. It ends up into the arms of Callan Ward. Now back into the arms of McGrath, and Merritt gets another touch going forward. Leaker nearly marked in a contested situation. Guelphy just tries to squeeze one through, and he does. Check side, rolls it through. And Matt Guelphy has kicked a goal in all 4 quarters here at Giants Stadium, and finally that stems the flow of 7 straight Giants majors. It's probably too little too late, but Guelphy has plenty to hang his hat on here today at Giants Stadium. 14 goals, 12.96 to 10 goals, 8.68. And that's Essendon's first major for over a quarter of game time.
Yeah, it's a classic front and square. He gets in the right position. He doesn't go behind the footy. He stays front and square. He moves to the left or the right. You know, and he's played a terrific opportunist small forward game. I mean, 4 goals is all you can ask for a small forward. He's applied pressure, so he can walk away with his head held high.
Around the grounds for Kangan Institute, 1-3 TAFE. Western Bulldogs up by 2 points early on in their game against Freo, which is now underway. Do we have a tackler or a tackle of the day for Toro count on it, Leon Cameron?
I don't think it's just one specific tackle. I think the Giants' tackles in forward 50 has been first class. You know, they're up to right now. They're up to 15 forward 50 tackles, and you know, if you're applying that, it just puts the defence under enormous pressure, and we've seen that from the start all day.
Can we give Jesse Hogan a shout out for that category?
Yeah, he has. Yep, yeah.
It's obviously not a part of the game that you expect from a key forward always, but
yes. Yeah, and look, I think Briggs and Hogan and Riccardi, the 3 tools, have helped lead the way there.
GWS with it at centre half back. Hopper by foot short to Kennedy. Now they go out on the outer side of the ground to right half back, the Giants. Once again, just tallying up uncontested possessions, and they've, for large stretches of this game, controlled the tempo.
And it's zapped Essendon. I mean, Essendon chasing the Giants, trying to defend the entire ground because they mightn't get it right for starters, has clearly zapped them, and then they don't have that run to hurt the Giants on rebound or on turnover. And it's a really good tactic to hold on to the footy as much as they possibly can, and it's clearly worked throughout the day today.
So Essendon with more handballs in this game, but the Giants have collected 237 kicks to Essendon's 175, and they lead the possession count overall by 40-odd as the Bombers try to work it back inside their forward 50 and find a target, but it will be turned over and rebounded once again, and the Giants are happy to just continue to grind away at this clock. 24 and a half minutes gone on the Makita clock. Rule the outdoors. Perryman now at right half back. 14 goals 12 to 10 goals 8. A big last 30-40 minutes from the Giants. They kicked 7 goals in a row from the midpoint in that third term, and that did the damage. That's a dangerous kick on the inside, and Redmond marks at centre half forward, hands it on to Snelling, who lost his footing, got it to Martin, back inside for Jones under a bit of pressure. Too much handballing potentially. Snelling now under pressure. Jones will have a shot on goal, but it's a wayward one. In fact, it's not going to go the journey. The ball is still inside that Bombers forward 50. Langford now has tackled well. His handball under pressure is going to be turned over, and the Giants exit. Danger. It's coming back. Laverde was underneath it. Back in the middle of the ground. Inside wing. Guelphy Works his way around Hopper. Gets to about 55 from home. Sends it to a really dangerous spot. And in fact, it bounces through across the face for a minor score.
Yeah, disappointing from Essendon. They had that opportunity to, Redmond, he came off his man. It was a great interception. Just their hands have just been a little bit off today. They haven't been sharp. And those pieces of play need to be completed.
14 goals, 12.96 to Essendon's 10 goals, 9.69 on the Icon Services scoreboard. Solutions that matter. GWS at right half back, under a bit of pressure now, applied by the Bombers, out of bounds, outer side of the ground here at Giants Stadium. As far as the key possession winners today, Whitfield has 29 disposals, Darcy Parish 27, and Sam Durham with 23. So no one into the 30 club here today yet, as the Giants work the ball forward. It's going to be turned over. Now Whitfield again hands it inside for Kennedy, who was able to circle his way out of pressure. Back to Kennedy now with a long kick downfield to half forward. Waiting underneath it was Riccardi. It's fisted down. Hind tries to track it for the Bombers. And it's going to be a ball up at left half back for Essendon. 27 minutes gone now on the Makita clock. The Giants still by plenty. 96 points to 69 points. Mark McVeigh looks a little bit more comfortable in his seat this week, Leon Cameron.
Oh, look, it's always good to, after a really tough week at your footy club to respond, and they've responded in a fantastic manner. They've put Essendon under pressure. They haven't allowed them to do what they've been doing the last 5 or 6 weeks. And collectively, the entire team have bought into some defence. Their defence has been first class. And whether it's at the source tackling or their full ground defence, it's been, a really good turnaround in 7 days.
Langford goes long inside forward 50 for Essendon. But the siren's going to beat them. And the spray that did the headlines all week 7 days ago has been justified here at Giant Stadium, with GWS ending their 4-game losing drought. They're back on the winners list, and they hand the Bombers a pretty impressive defeat here at home. 14 goals, 12.96 to Essendon's 10 goals, 9.69.
We're stronger than the rest. We're the greater Western Sydney Giants. We're the biggest and the best. And we will never surrender. We'll fight until the end. We're greater than the rest.
So the GWS 8, they stepped up, and so did the rest. The defensive pressure was outstanding from the home side. They did it for longer, and a 7-goal run from midway through that third quarter through to towards the end of this final term did the damage, and that's what caused Essendon to fall well behind in this game. And in the end, the Giants get the job done. Essendon came into the game, of course, having won 4 of their last 5, but it's back to the drawing board for them, at least for now. So a big win from the Giants. Leon Cameron, your thoughts and observations?
Yeah, you're right, Phil. I think a great response, fantastic response, clearly under the pump during the week, even though we know that the season can just piddle out sometimes for sides that are down near the bottom. But that game is very, very valuable for guys like Bruce and Lecalier, and, just to name a couple of players that have only been at the club for a short period of time, Tanner Bruin, to understand that every game matters. And, I thought from the very first bounce when they physically attacked Essendon, they went after Merritt. They knew that they wanted to improve their tackling. They did that with 15 or 16 forward 50 tackles, and they out-tackled Essendon today, clearly, and their 1%ers were absolutely first class. And, they thoroughly deserved that 5-goal win. And, when Essendon came at them a couple of times, we thought he's going to be a really, really good game. But looking back in hindsight, it was only in patches for Essendon, where it looked like the Giants probably played the far more greater consistency over the 4 quarters. And, they'd be sitting back really proud of that, and great response. The challenge is for them now is to review it really hardly and go again next week and the week after, because, it does help set your season up or your pre-season going forward for 2023.
Yeah, Phil Pryor and our expert Leon Cameron on deck for AFL Nation for Icon Services Solutions that matter. Now it's time for the post-game show for Coates. We're more than hire. We're equipped for anything. And we'll do a post-game wrap of what has happened here at Giants Stadium before AFL Nation moves on, of course, for the Twilight game coming up. Final score, 14 goals, 12-96. The Giants over the Bombers, 10-9-69. The final score for Need, Victoria Police, but not the Sirens. Call the police assistance line, 131-444. Leon Cameron, we've got some awards to give out on the post-game show as well. We will start with the MEGT Rookie of the Day, your local apprenticeship experts. I've got a feeling who you're going to award this to, but are we sticking with the guy that we mentioned at halftime?
Yeah, we are. I thought Lekalier's second game was first class. He spoiled. He came off his man. He read the ball in the air. He took a couple of really good key marks. He kicked the ball well, and he's going to be feeling, really proud of himself tonight, leading into his third game next week, because, he's an exciting young, talented player. It's a wonderful story, and the boys love him, and you can clearly see every time he was around the vicinity of the piece of play, there was something good happening. I just want to mention young Hobbs from Essendon. I think he's having a really, really good year. First year, he had some really, really good moments. He kicked his goal. Those two guys, they're good, talented players, highly talented players for both sides, and it's an exciting future for those two youngsters.
Yeah, MEGT supporting employers and apprentices for over 40 years. Now, we don't really have a hanger of the day, do we, for hangmytv.com.au, because that's what they do. I'm just trying to think that no one got on anyone's back or shoulders and got airborne. Toby Green was really the only player that got airborne, but there was no mark that came down with it. So we might have to leave that one, but obviously some good contested marking up forward for the Giants forwards in general. Now a tackle or a tackler of the game for Toro. Count on Toro to get the job done, Leon Cameron.
Oh, the last quarter, clearly Hogan inside forward 50 that first 3 or 4 minutes in the last quarter. He lined up Hind, he nailed him, his intent was first class, he wrapped his arms up, holding the ball, shot on goal. Disappointing he didn't kick the major, but just thought his intent was fantastic, and to have 15 tackles inside your forward 50, your tools have to make sure that you're being a part of that, and I thought they tackled very well all over the ground, but if you're looking for one, I thought that was probably the best.
Coaching move of the day for TC boxes, for home for trays, canopies and toolboxes. What do you reckon there?
Oh, look, I think the Perryman matchup on Merritt. They've clearly identified Merritt as a key personnel. We know how good he can be, and they've looked at Perryman and know that he's got that selfless approach to go two-way. And for Perryman to have 23 or 24 possessions himself and to keep Merritt, down to 19 is a massive win, and for him to hit the scoreboard as well. So, I think that they would be sitting there thinking what a great string to the bow to the Giants midfield that you can throw Harry Perryman off the halfback flank or off the wing into the middle of the ground to take care of one of the prime movers of the opposition.
Do you have an idea for goal of the game for Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians?
It would have been Durham's if Leck hadn't have touched would have been goal of the year. It was a terrific effort. Look, I thought some of the set shot goal kicking from both sides was first class, especially from long distance and also angles. And, from Langford here and Hogan here in the pocket, just absolute precise. Everyone probably criticises a lot of goal kicking on set shots because of fatigue sets in, and where was goal kicking like it was 20 years ago? Probably didn't realise that they didn't run as much back then in 20 years ago. But I thought it was precise. I thought they, both sides, Peter Wright from 55, Harry Himmelberg from 55. There were some really, really good long shots from goal. There probably wasn't one specific one. The most difficult one was probably young Langford's.
Unmissable moments for Drinkwise. Choose to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. What are we thinking?
Oh, look, I think if James Stewart had his time over again, He's taken a really good mark in the goal square in their back line, and he's turned to release the ball to one of his halfback flankers. They're not switched on. Toby Green pounces on it, kicks a goal, soccer goal through, and that actually started the momentum from the Giants. Essendon, I think, scores were level, and that just gave them that momentum, and then all of a sudden, from there they went bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, they sure did. Now, we'll do the votes. I don't know if you've got that ready, Leon.
Yeah.
Cameron, 3, 2 and 1 potentially for AFL Nation's Player of the Year, thanks to Henley Homes. Henley completed homes now selling in Mickleham and Tarneet. Henley.com.au. Just very quickly for listeners out there, Jesse Hogan finished with 4 goals, 2. Matt Guelphy finished with 4 goals, 1. He kicked a goal in each of the 4 quarters today for Essendon. Toby Green finished with 2. So did Peter Wright for the Bombers. And then Cornelio, Whitfield, Perkins, Langford, Bruin, Ben Hobbs, Callan Ward, James Stewart, Josh Kelly, Himmelberg, Perryman and Lloyd were the goal kickers. They get their name in the paper. Who are you giving 3 votes to today, Leon?
Oh, look, I thought Lockie Whitfield was absolutely terrific on the wing all day. You know, he chances himself every now and again. He can cross over, but it does cause headaches for the opposition. His running power was at its best, and he worked tirelessly up and down, and to pick up 30 possessions and kick that sealer in the last quarter. It was a really, really good game from him, and he's a proud young fella. He would have been one player that thought, how did I go last week? He's had an injury-interrupted year. He's probably playing, at 85%, with his ankle injury that he's carrying at the moment. But for him to do what he did today was first class. I thought he was best on the ground with 3 votes. I thought Jesse Hogan was 2. I thought he was the key forward on the ground that provided options from start to finish. 18 possessions, 4 goals, 2, a number of marks. His forward pressure was first class, and he's having a really good fine second half of the year. And so I thought he was a clear 2. The 1 vote, there was probably, I thought it was either Perryman or Himmelberg. I'd probably gave it to Perryman just because of his ability to shut down Merritt and also get ball himself and hit the scoreboard. Himmelberg was very good down back again, but probably the 1 vote was Perryman. Flip it over to Essendon. I thought their probably best contributors were Parrish, Durham and Guelphy. Guelphy, the ultimate goal scorer, 4 goals as a small forward, played his role. But overall, there probably wasn't as many winners for Essendon on the day, and clearly the Giants had the better in that department.
Yeah, there you go. So, well done to those guys, and there was plenty of good contributions from Giants players around the ground in a variety of ways today, no doubt about that. Now, a quick ladder update for 40 Winks. Totally temper sale on now at 40 Winks. 40 Winks serious about sleep. Now, of course, not much change up the top of the ladder today. Collingwood up to second after what happened last night, of course. Geelong still in first. The D's, the Swans, the Lions, Fremantle down in 6th. In action right now, so potentially some movement down in the bottom half of the 8. Carlton and St Kilda rounding out the 8. Richmond, Western Bulldogs, Gold Coast, Port, Hawthorn. Now, still at 14th is the Bombers. Still at 16th is the Giants. Wedged in between those teams are the Adelaide Crows. But for now, Essendon will stay at 14th on the ladder. Hawthorn, with their win, they move 1 win ahead of the Bombers today. Hawthorn beating the Gold Coast Suns earlier this afternoon. The Giants, despite collecting the 4 points here at Giants Stadium today, they remain in 16th position, but they pick up their 6th win of the season, the same amount as the Adelaide Crows right now. The Crows, of course, still with a game in hand. Beneath GWS, just West Coast and North Melbourne, of course. So there is a full ladder update for you all out there on AFL Nation. This GWS game is brought to you by Bingley, Australian, family-owned for over 65 years. And, of course, this has been the post-game show for Coates. We're more than higher. We're equipped for anything. Leon Cameron, a huge thank you to you this afternoon. And, good result obviously your first trip back to Giants Stadium since round 9, since the farewell, and the Giants got it done for you.
Yeah, no, they were terrific, and look, they'll be in there singing the song now after a really, really tough week. And they should be proud of their efforts, and hopefully they can finish off the year in a really, really good manner, and take an opportunity to right some wrongs that have been there in the last month or so. But tonight celebrate the victory and move on towards next week.
Yeah, that Saturday afternoon time slot is a prime opportunity for some kick to kick. And the Sirens just gone for that now out here at Giants Stadium as well. Leon, I better take off quick smart. I've got to go and play a Division 3 match, AFL Sydney. Go the mighty Wolves. We've got the UNSW Bulldogs later under lights toninet.
Yeah, well, I think we'll come down and commentate that. What do you think?
Well,
Good
if
luck.
you can offer me some advice, I'd be greatly appreciative.
Get the ball, kick it through the big sticks.
And that's why you're our expert on AFL Nation. A big thank you to Leon Cameron and Phil Pryor with you here on behalf of the entire AFL Nation team. A big thank you to everyone for listening in. Of course, it's Twilight Footy up now, continuing the run on AFL Nation. Bulldogs up against Freo. It's the Dockers by 9 points in that game down at Marvel Stadium, and we'll send you there shortly. Have a good one.